ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. This National Recovery Month, start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at ChooseChangeCA.org.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avery Anna. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RVs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140.
Yes, yes, yes. It's still me, Allen Stiles, taking you up to 2 p.m. We have Ramsey behind the glass for us today, Kyle Ledbetter. He's out there somewhere enjoying his time. And we have some updates just logistically with the baby that we will get to and give you some updates there. But man, oh man, we've had a throwback Thursday. We've had a way back Wednesday. It is a fully loaded Friday. NFL is back, and it was back in a big way. Dak playing with a loogie. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. A great game. And before everyone says, wow, the Cowboys impressed me, that's what the Cowboys do. That is why the Cowboys, they get the prime time because of their name. But they're always going to play up and put on a good show. That's Jerry Jones. He's going to put on a good show. All right? He's going to put on a good show. So we'll get to Spitgate. That's what I'm calling it. With Jalen Carter, Dak Prescott, what's going to be the fallout from that? The Cowboys are still the Cowboys, and the Eagles are still the Eagles. It doesn't look great. Prop talk, nobody is going to hit, right? Looked like A.J. Brown didn't even play. He didn't hit his yards. Devontae didn't hit his yards. Saquon didn't hit his rushing yards, and somehow the Eagles win. It was a lot of Jalen Hurts. And Jalen Hurts, that's early season Jalen Hurts. Now, he's not like Kyler Murray where he completely just unravels in the winter like Kyler Murray, because obviously he's a Super Bowl champ, Jalen Hurts is, but he will be banged up later in the season. And I think the Eagles look at that game and say, look, no Jalen Carter. We got out of there with the W, but that's not going to fly. Jalen Hurts cannot run around that much all season. Actually, other teams will make sure that he doesn't because they'll have a better game plan. But even if they don't have better game plans, that Jalen Hurts is not going to look like that in December. We've seen it before. I often forget how fast Jalen Hurts actually is because he's always dinged up later in the season. But they get it done. They move to 1-0. The Cowboys, that's a classic Cowboys game. They can all feel good. We had opportunities. CeeDee Lamb dropped a couple passes. I'm sitting here riding for CeeDee Lamb. Why doesn't CeeDee get talked about like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase? Then CeeDee proceeds to not blow the game, but he definitely didn't help his situation. So Cowboys go to 0-1. I did like what I saw from the Cowboys, but that's just what the Cowboys do. They do play really well in those spots besides when they play the Niners. We have more information on Amari Cooper and his decision to retire, but the larger news coming out, I know they're not both Bay Area teams anymore, but the larger news coming out of the Bay Area, Christian McCaffrey limited with this calf thing. And I want to be very careful as we discuss Christian McCaffrey's calf. Okay, and as somebody who is part of the torn Achilles brotherhood, the ruptured Achilles brotherhood, there is something that a doctor once told me. There are two theories when it comes to Achilles, and it seems like Christian McCaffrey is on one side of this, and ultimately, you're just going to have to see what happens, brother. You're going to have to see what happens. Because it does not seem, if you had all this time off, not just when the season ended, but the time you missed because of the knee, then prior to that, because of both calves and the tendonitis, he feels something. And every time he feels good about it, there's a little Now, Achilles happen in a couple different ways. There's the knee bone connected to, I'm acting like I'm talking to Baby Styles here. There is the calf situation, that's the Kevin Durant. Right? Calf situation. And then there's just out of nowhere different guys. And that's also Dre Greenlaw to keep it in football. He had tendonitis and then it went pop goes the weasel. Then there are random situations. Myself, I never felt anything in my left. If anything, I tell people all the time, my right is the one that bothered me. So maybe I was overcompensating. But Christian McCaffrey, clearly something's there. At some point, brother, you're just going to have to see what it is. Because he's going to get out there and instincts are going to take over. I hope nothing happens, but clearly that's what's going on with Christian McCaffrey. Clearly he's feeling good and or it's mental. And he's so afraid of doing it because he knows that would be at this age, the end of his career in football specifically, the end of his career as we all know it. Maybe he could come back for something. And he's just so worried about doing it that he's not going 100%. Those are the only two options with this thing. Okay? And Tom Pelissero says, there's no alarms going out in San Francisco. Maybe San Francisco, if it is the latter, is saying, Christian, you look healthy. Or and maybe you're going to have some soreness and he doesn't want to do it. But this is football. You're a running back. You run hard. So at some point, he's just going to have to see what it is and just hope for the best. I know that sounds crazy, but clearly you're not going to get or you're just going to keep missing time. So we'll see what happens. Maybe it's just in his head. Maybe it is just not a big deal, but they continue to tell us it's not a big deal as he goes overseas and gets crazy treatments. They continue to tell us, don't look over here. We're good. Don't look over here. We're good. So we'll see what happens there. We have more on Christian McCaffrey throughout the 4 hours on this show. Steve Ballmer could have approached this a couple different ways. He could have went on Pablo Torre's show. He could have said nothing, let a little bit more time pass, or he could go on the Four Letter Network, which is in partnership with the NBA and had already been kind of ducking. I wouldn't say ducking. I won't say that about ESPN. They were already not actively promoting the story going on and get some layup questions. Look, nothing against Ramona Shelburne. I think she did what she felt like she had to do, and I think she did a pretty good job based on the situation. Or you could go on the Four Letter Network that's connected to the NBA, so you know it's going to be relatively safe. So that's what Steve Ballmer did last night. I got Naomi Osaka on one. I got the split screen. I got Naomi on one side of the screen. I got the NFL on the other. They say it's going to air after after the U.S. Open match, and nowadays you don't even have. Okay. Let me check. I don't want to make sure I don't miss it. But nowadays it doesn't even matter, right? Because you're going to see everything on social media, which is exactly that. And we have some sound for you that we will play here in the next segment. So that's just what it's been. That's just what it's been. And if I'm Steve Ballmer, I probably would have let it just go through the weekend, because Pablo Torre had more information. He had more information as soon as Steve Ballmer went on ESPN. So personally, I've learned, right, when there's somebody trying to clown me on social media or even my beloved text line, I've learned that my best comebacks happen when I take a beat, when I take a second to think things through. I don't know. And Steve Ballmer, I had no clue what was going on. Now he leaves it to the public to decide whether you believe him or not. Again, it's not the Shohei thing, but it's similar. I guess if I were a billionaire, I could forget about $30 million, $50 million. I gave him the money. We all got defrauded. I didn't know what was going on. So that's his cover. That's his story. He's sticking to it. And he decided that it was the right time a couple days later, or hardly a day later, to hop on ESPN. I would have let it go over the weekend. Let the NFL happen. Let that push everything up the news, up the news bracket, if you will. But he decided to beat it, and we'll see how all of that goes. A lot of Kings talk, all right, and I was trying to approach this Kings talk in a unique way. Because somehow, some way, my biggest fear for the Sacramento Kings heading into 2025, 2026 is actually a positive. Okay? It's contradictory, I know. But my biggest fear for the Kings is weirdly a positive. I will describe to you and explain to you what I mean by that. To keep it more straightforward in the 11 o'clock hour, what is your level of excitement for the Kings this season? Has the dust settled from everything that's happened? Are you ready to be hurt? Are you ready to be surprised? Do you have high expectations for your Sacramento Kings? We're going to discuss that, the 11 o'clock hour. Also, Malik Monk. If Malik Monk is going to be on this team, and it seems like he is at this point in time, why is nobody talking about Malik Monk as a Sixth Man of the Year candidate? The last couple of years, Malik Monk was a Sixth Man of the Year candidate. They went to the playoffs, and they were a game away from getting into the playoffs. All they had to do was beat a Pelicans team that they could not beat all season long. So now that the dust has settled with Malik Monk, and it seems like at least to start the season, he's going to be on the squad. What if Malik Monk is Sixth Man of the Year again? Or he should have won a couple years ago. What if he is that guy? Then how good could the Kings be? We haven't talked about Malik Monk, the basketball player, all summer. Summer's over. It's September. We talked about Zach LaVine. We've talked about DeMar DeRozan. We've talked at length about the young guys. We all love Nick Clifford. We all love Keon Ellis. Of course, we talked about Keegan. He's got to get signed or he's going to hit restricted free agency. We talked about Keon's contract as well. Talked about Maxime Reynaud. Somehow, some way, from a basketball standpoint, we have found a way to talk more about Isaac Jones than Malik Monk. Part of that is because we didn't know if Malik Monk was still going to be on this team. But I'm going to take Scott Perry for his word. Scott Perry says, he's been saying it the whole time. We are more than okay with having Malik come back, right? This was an odd man out situation. Malik has been doing great things. We saw that report a couple weeks ago. They love how Malik has embraced Sacramento, has embraced being a King, has embraced what the Kings are trying to do. So let's talk about a very focused, very dedicated, very motivated Malik Monk and what that could do for the Sacramento Kings. Somehow, some way, that hasn't happened yet. That ends today with myself and Ramsey. We are discussing Malik Monk, the basketball player, the elite basketball player that he is. Also, so I got the new Bieber slapping last night. 20 more songs. The dude is unstoppable. Okay, Ramsey's shaking his head.
Bieber is not my bag.
He got some heaters. Okay, I'm getting through my new Music Friday as I got the 4-letter network on mute as they replay the Bomber interview for the 14th time. And I'm just thinking, okay, Kyle's out today. I got to be the one to get in the trade dungeon, and I got a heater. It involves DeMar DeRozan, okay? And it involves a team. Now, look, we've talked about this before. These Eastern Conference teams, somebody has to play better than expected. And this might be a reach, and Ramsey might get up and leave the back. But I found something that I think could make people feel pretty good on both sides.
Yeah, I might get up and leave the back.
There's a couple different caveats in there, but you know how I get on Fridays. I believe the last time I thought of a trade on a Friday, it was that Sabonis Orlando Magic trade. People wanted me out the building, okay?
Maybe you'll get a text before you get to the trade.
People are getting me out the building. So I'm running it back. I believe this is better than the Domantas Sabonis trade, and I cannot wait to share it with all of you. You do not want to miss that. That's at 12 o'clock. 12 o'clock, and I think a lot of you are going to like it. Anthony back there is cracking up. I think a lot of you are going to like it. I know Anthony was listening to the new Bieber. It's okay. Taking you up to 2 p.m., and apparently I had to spin the block on this because Nick Sirianni, I think, has kind of gotten a bad rap. He's loud. He's not the defensive coordinator guy. He's not the offensive coordinator guy. He's just the rah-rah guy. People don't like that, right? Or people don't respect that the same way. A people manager. We talked about this in my tech life, right? My corporate life. Hey, Allen, you have a couple paths to take. This is when I was, 2 or 3 years into that job, and they say, hey, Allen, you want to be an individual contributor, or do you want to be a people manager? Well, I said at that time, I think I want to be a people manager. And the idea is, well, everybody wants that manager title. Everybody wants to become a senior manager. Then you become a director, and that's how you go. There were people that I ended up managing when that conversation came up because you could make them assistant managers, whatever it is. No, Allen, I think I'm good. I think I want to be an individual contributor. I think that's how I'm best going to help this company. Nick Sirianni is a people manager, and people don't respect that. I actually had a boss who he managed, I was in product operations. He managed our realm, and he managed a couple different realms, and that was the kind of conversation around him. Well, wasn't he in ad sales? Why does he have all these teams under him? And he was one of the best managers I ever had. Knew nothing about what I did. But he understood, hey, how can I help you? How can I make product operations better? Did not know a lick about product operations. He's in ad sales. Now, there were times where, man, I wish he knew what I was talking about. I'm having this tech issue. But he was a really good people manager. And that's what Nick Sirianni is, a really good people manager. Even though he had the weird thing, what was that, a couple Super Bowls ago, where he was kind of taunting the Chiefs and Jalen Hurts had to say, hey, man, knock that off. That's who he is. That's Philly. That's cheesesteak. That's literally what it is. Now, I got on Sirianni, with all that being said, I got on Sirianni yesterday because of the banner night thing and the Eagles not being out to watch the banner drop. I got home. I'm scrolling through because I wanted to make sure. I went pretty hard on Sirianni. Let me double check here. Apparently, I don't know that an apology is necessary, but apparently the Chiefs also were not out there during the banner ceremony. Apparently, this is somewhat of a thing, and some of it is actually timing. I still don't believe that Sirianni didn't know it was banner night, but apparently a lot of these teams on Super Bowl, because of the timing of it, they do not watch the banner ceremony. Now, I know I saw something saying CeeDee Lamb, he said, well, I'm going to watch it because I'm going to use it as motivation or whatever. But Kyle and I got into a pretty not a heated debate. We got into a discussion yesterday about the banner ceremony thing. It wasn't about missing banner ceremony. It was about pretending like you didn't know banner ceremony was happening. But even still, just a quick note on that. From what I read, the Chiefs also were not out there.
Here's what I do have to say about that.
Okay.
Major difference, in my opinion. Football's 53 to 60 players. other sports, like especially basketball, you got 15.
Mm-hmm.
It would be much more time consuming if you had banner plus 53 players getting a ring in comparison to 15.
Yes, I hear you. And I don't even know if the rings don't even get handed out there.
No,
there's no way. There's too many people.
Yeah, like I said, there's too many people. They don't hand out the rings in football. It's the only ceremony I know of where they hand out the rings is basketball.
Right.
Because it's 15.
Quick 15, get in, get out. So Sirianni, like I said, I didn't have a beef with you missing it. My beef was just stand on business. Just stand on business. All right. They get the W. They're 1-0 now. And Jalen Carter, he might be suspended. People, he dropped to the Eagles. He dropped a little bit. Couple of reasons. Character issues was one of them. So
we need to talk about that though.
Yeah,
because I got my thoughts
on Spitgate.
Yes, I do.
Okay, we can get into it right now.
I think he got baited by Dak Prescott after watching the replays.
Mm-hmm.
I don't condone another man spitting on another man.
Never.
That's bounds for getting ready to knuckle up and buck up.
Right.
But Dak tried to say, I wasn't spitting there. Dak, you spit close enough near him to where Jalen Carter came to him and said, you spitting at me? I probably would have interpreted it the same exact way that Jalen Carter did. Now I don't condone him actually spitting on Dak Prescott, but I understand where he took offense and he got elevated and got heated about it.
Well, I think there are a couple things happening here. I think Jalen Carter, you put a Jalen Carter in that situation. We could throw out an Ndamukong Suh. We've seen these types of guys before. Dak probably knew what he was doing, right? In the direction. We know we can the same way we say, hey, Nick Sirianni, we know what's actually happening here. Dak, I don't think it's as innocent as you're trying to make it seem. And Dak even went as far as to say he found it or he felt disrespected. I don't know if he used the word disrespected, that it would even be inferred that he would do something like that to spit at someone or in the direction of someone. Dak can use that protection, and we can choose to believe it or not, but we don't have to believe it.
And Dak has looked funny in the light so many times that I don't believe a word he says.
But you don't have to.
Yeah.
All that being said, because it did not get on Jalen Carter, he has to, because the other thing is, and I don't know from the clip that I saw, the other thing is people were saying, well, why was Jalen Carter even over there to begin with? So I understand where you're coming from, Ramsey. I think Dak is definitely playing it a bit coy, which is what a lot of people will do that in that situation. But Jalen Carter, if he got bait, sometimes you got to take the bait. We talk about the illegal fishing happening in the Thomas. Can't take the bait, and Jalen Carter took the bait. And what's crazy is they still lost. It's the Cowboys being the Cowboys. What do you expect? The Eagles had a dude they lost two dudes before one play.
Yeah.
He blew out his knee on special teams. Jalen Carter gets ejected. Then they come out, march right down the field.
I mean, everybody marched down the field in the first half.
Yeah, march right down the field, and they still couldn't get it done. That's why, to me, everybody now is doing the thing. Man, well, maybe we were sleeping on the Cowboys. No. I don't know. They played well, but it was lined up for them to play well.
Here's what people fail to realize if you look at it from a different perspective. Week 1 divisional game. Mm-hmm. Week 1 divisional games. I don't care, regardless of division, regardless of teams. They're always going to be close games, and most games in the NFL, anyways, are decided by 8 points or less. Right. Which the Eagles were favored by 8.5, which that number was way too big. Mm-hmm. And in a game like that, the Cowboys are going to be they're going to be in the game. It's one of their heated rivals.
Exactly.
Not saying they're the better team because they're not better than the Eagles, but they stayed in the game.
The only team I have seen the Cowboys consistently lay an egg against in these big situations, Cowboys, when they are fully loaded, they show up in primetime. They might not win, but like I said, they're going to put on a show. The only team I've seen the Cowboys consistently get run out the building, it's the Niners.
Unfortunately,
it's the Niners. They never show up against the Niners,
or they show up and they do something stupid to where they fumble the bag. Like I forget what year it was, 2022 or 23, with that final play of the game where Zeke Elliott was at center trying to snap it.
Well, yes.
That play. You had the other play in Dallas where they didn't have enough time to spike the ball in the playoffs against San Francisco. So I mean, They found multiple ways to fumble the bag against San Francisco.
Exactly. And that's the closest they've gotten, and they were still chasing. I don't know what it is, but San Francisco, and we'll see because they have Seattle this week. San Francisco under the Brock Purdy era, they've had and really past that as far as the Cowboys are concerned, but they've had the Cowboys number, and they've had the Seahawks number as well. So
give or take, the one other team that I could say that they've had their number for the most part, and I don't understand why, is the Packers. I mean, Jordan Love, as we say among our friends, he tricked off that game in San Francisco a couple years ago.
He really did.
He tricked that game because the Packers had that. The Packers were the better team in that game. They were the better team in that game.
And it was Whitey Gleason, and I don't know if Whitey was calling it his surprise pick, and I'm air quoting if you're in the car or listening on the Sacktown Sports app or on the TuneIn app, but he has people love the Packers as that sexy NFC pick. I can't do it.
I can't do it for the fact that I can't put any faith in Jordan Love.
He can't look, and I was very open with people. He was my number one quarterback for fantasy last season, and the brother burned me. So
you already know that.
I'm not I cannot be objective. I'm not gonna pretend to be objective.
The Packers to me are like the other team that a lot of people like in the NFC North, which is the Vikings.
Yeah,
I understand all the talent that the Vikings have, but we don't have any evidence of what J.J. McCarthy is. He hasn't played a game in the NFL.
Yeah, the J.J. McCarthy thing, that's even crazier.
Yeah.
That's even crazier. Let's get to the other side when we return. Steve Ballmer and his exclusive. We have some clips for that for you. Was it a good move? Should he have done any type of media availability this early in the game? Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sacktown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sacktown Sports app.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Listen to the 49er Rewind daily. Brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
The only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Sacktown Sports.
So let me just give everybody a quick update on everything because I know everyone keeps saying Alan, why are you still here? So I will give you a quick update. I guess the date where we will make things happen, if it doesn't happen over the weekend, is Wednesday. So I'm waiting for some confirmation, but this is I know, and Kyle keeps joking with me. Okay, I guess we've done this 5 times, but this is the last time I'll see you. Today will most likely be my last day for, now it's down to about 3.5 weeks until media day. All right, so Wednesday is the day. We're going to make things happen if it doesn't happen on its own. So either way, it's either going to be Monday as my last day or today. More than likely today will be my last day. I know Ramsey will be in on Monday.
Yes, I will.
And we might have more information for you on that before the show ends. But today is most likely my last day. If not, it's Monday. Okay, so want to make everybody clear as we are waiting for agent number 2, baby number 2's arrival. This is the second time. We're used to it. My first kid was a week late. So it's just how it goes. It's just how it goes.
I've been there 4 times over, so I get it.
How were they any early? We were looking forward to one, being early this time.
Nah, my oldest daughter, who's 21, she was a week late, so she was induced.
Mm-hmm.
My oldest son, I think he was either right on time or induced.
Yeah.
My youngest son induced. My youngest daughter, I believe, was induced as well.
Okay.
So
right.
it's one of those.
You do what you do.
Hey, these kids, if they want to stay with mom for another week,
right?
Do what you got to do.
Free rent.
Free nutrients. I mean, there you have it.
916-339-1140. And yeah, I popped in right after the Greg Papa. I haven't had a chance to hear it, getting ready for the show. I popped in right after the Greg Papa appearance. His first public appearance has ended up happening on Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross. So I know when I walked in and I didn't know what had just happened. And it seems like that was a really powerful segment for them. I can't wait to listen when this show is over, and I encourage everyone to check it out. Just as we're talking about health, health is your health is your wealth, and all that good stuff, and families. So great stuff from Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross. I could just to let y'all know, right? With Carmichael Dave, you never know, and I said this to him. You never know what's going on because Carmichael Davey, he can be a bit of a jokester. I walked in about 2 seconds. I was trying to read the room. Then I immediately understood what was going on. So for them to be moved the way that they were moved, I can't wait to take a listen and to watch that when I have some time, whether it's today or whether I do start my paternity leave. And I encourage everyone to do so as well. Jason Ross giving everybody a look, a window's peek into his life as well. So I walked in. I'm ready for Friday Fun and Games. Did not know what was happening, but quickly understood kind of the gravity of it. And I just appreciate them being as open as they were here on a Friday. So be sure to check that out. And it'll help you put things in perspective. I'll put it to you like that. As we get to the newest updates on Steve Ballmer. Look, man, there are a couple different ways to do this, and Steve Ballmer decided, 2 days later, to hop on the 4-letter network, who has a very well-known partnership with the NBA, from who he owns a team, and he was asked some questions, and he's just saying, I didn't know, right? Hey, Barry Bonds-esque, I didn't know what I was taking, okay? Look, man, I gave them money. What they did with it has nothing to do with me. Here is Steve Ballmer answering some questions from Ramona Shelburne.
So why do you think they gave him that much money?
Let me just repeat. I don't know how much money they gave him.
Well, in the court documents and in Pablo's podcast, they report it was $28 million.
Pablo's podcast, I don't know anything about the court documents on this. I haven't seen them, and I don't know. I'm not trying to be, I don't know. I really don't know. But the speculation is what it is. And why did they do that?
It's a lot of money. I mean, $28 million, $7 million a year is a lot of money for a guy that you didn't actually require to do anything.
I don't know why they did what they did, and I don't know how different it is. I really don't. And frankly, any speculation would be crazy. These are guys who committed fraud. How would I be able? Look, they conned me.
You're one of the richest men in America.
They conned me. I made an investment in these guys thinking it was on the up and up, and they conned me. At this stage, I have no ability to predict why they might have done anything they did, let alone the specific contract with Kawhi.
I mean, you're one of the richest men in America. You've obviously done very well in your career in business. Like, you didn't smell anything wrong with the company. You didn't see anything wrong. Like, you obviously reviewed the financials before you got involved with the business proposal.
I reviewed, my staff reviewed primarily fraudulent financials. Now, should I have sniffed it out? Maybe. I feel embarrassed and kind of silly that I didn't sniff it out, but I didn't. I made the investment. A lot of other smart investors didn't sniff it out either. It's also true I've made a bunch of bad business deals and investments in my life, and I've made some good ones. This was fraud and a bad investment, and I'm embarrassed by that.
Yeah.
This is look, he did a good job. He did a good job. I'm re-listening to it now. And I honestly, you know what's funny? Suffering from meme culture is such a thing. Because when you watch the video, he's so over the top. And they con me, and he's throwing his hands up. You don't, it's less believable. But if you just listen to the audio, it's much more believable than when you see the video.
And what did I say when we were watching the video? Hey, I hit you with the ever famous. Give you the Jordan shrug from against Portland. That's what Ballmer was saying. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Hearing the audio, it sounds much more, and I'm not saying I believe him or don't believe him, but just hearing the audio without seeing his hand movements and just Steve Ballmer, all the memes we've seen of him on top of the stage when they got Kawhi, all of that, just hearing it, okay, maybe this is a real thing. He's a smart dude. And good on Ramona saying, dude, you're one of the richest humans in America. How did you not sniff this out, or how did you miss it? He said, maybe I did. Now, whether I believe him or not, I think the jury is still out. The thing about claiming that you know nothing, and I'm going to go to my Law and Order here. Once you claim you know nothing, and the lawyers always ask them, in any of these movies that we watch, or any of these shows that we watch, is there anything else you want to tell me? No, that's it. Then the defense or the prosecution, here's Exhibit A. Here's Exhibit A. And then the lawyer goes back to whoever it is. I thought you told me everything. Well, see, what had happened was...
And you know it's all bad once you see what had happened was...
Yeah, that changes things. So if you're going to go with I knew nothing, you better be crystal clear, and you better have your I's dotted and your T's crossed that you truly didn't know anything, or that nobody can find out that you did know something. Because that is Law and Order, SVU, Criminal Intent, any of these shows that you watch, that is the number one point. When you stick with something, when you decide to go, I know nothing or I knew nothing, once that gets blown up, you're cooked. So if that's what he's going to go with, he better be telling the truth, or he better have everything in the most hidden file in the history of National Treasure, Nicolas Cage hidden files. That's it.
And sidebar to this, I don't know if you've heard, Cuban went on with Pablo Torre for about 3 hours. Not that we have much time to go into that, but yeah, Cuban went on for almost 3 hours to talk about his thoughts and his side about the whole situation with Pablo. And you can watch that after you're done watching this show, watching the Drive guys. Go from there and form your own inferences and opinions on it.
Yeah, and Cuban, obviously, he sold. I think he might still have a small fraction of the Mavs.
He's got a very small minority stake now in the Mavericks.
But he decided he's going to be. He spoke out first. He hops on the show with Pablo. I still have to see everything. I didn't see a lot of clips come from it, which was weird to me.
I haven't seen any clips, but I'll put it like this. My opinion on Mark Cuban has changed over the years. At first, I wasn't a big fan of him, but he's shown over the years, yeah. I personally, if you do some research, you can rock with Mark Cuban.
So Mark Cuban is kind of giving his thoughts on things. Steve Ballmer, would I have done this soon? I was joking during the first segment, but honestly, I'm not really joking. Personally, I would have waited for the NFL season. I would have waited for this week 1 to go by and just see what happens. And when you have that much money, you can do whatever you want, but I would be very surprised if this is the direction that his team told him. And you notice real quick there how he kind of threw his team under the bus. I looked at the papers. My team mostly looked at the papers, but we all looked at fraudulent numbers. So he's already kind of, look, man, when you're this high up, and I believe him, but this is Kawhi. This is Kawhi Leonard that it's attached to. You were the one jumping up and down. Isn't it great when you got Kawhi and Paul George? That's the problem here. What were we calling him yesterday? The nickname we had for him. That's the problem, Stevie. Someone said Steven, a couple different names. That's the problem. We know that it's hard to believe that you weren't connected to this at all.
Here's the one thing you and I know, especially being part of media. He wanted to jump in now because he didn't want to be a Friday afternoon news drop and have it go to the back burner and wait until Monday or Tuesday. So he took the opportunity right before the NFL season to address the situation and see where it goes and goes from there.
I would have waited. Real quick, as we're talking NFL, so we like our themes on this show. Today's theme, it's a very, very basic theme, but I enjoy it. Favorite tailgate food. Okay, so throughout the show, text line, call line's open too. Text line, call line, Sack Chat. What is your favorite tailgate food? We will be reading them off throughout the whole show as we get ready for NFL Week 1 with the Raiders taking on somebody's quarterback, Drake May, and the Patriots. Bo Nix, even though I'm a Raider guy and Broncos AFC West, I do like what I've seen from Bo Nix. Go ahead, Ramsey.
For me, it's not Bo Nix. It's the other side of the football. I've said it for maybe about a month now. Mm-hmm. I think the Broncos may have the best defense in the NFL.
Well, I think that's a problem when I'm trying to talk myself into the Broncos making that run. I just don't think they have enough on the offensive side of the football.
Very true.
As far as the Niners are concerned, they are taking on the Seattle Seahawks. So give us your favorite tailgate food. And do you have a random one? We won't shame you. Yeah, the wings, the hot dogs, the glizzies, the burgers. You got anything random that you just tend to like? You want to eat sushi? Let me know. When we return, if Malik Monk is the 6th Man of the Year candidate again, how much did that help the Kings in the playoffs? Let's talk Malik on the court. Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RBs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack? Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ziprecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. Just go to this exclusive web address, ziprecruiter.com/free. That's ziprecruiter.com/free. ziprecruiter.com/free.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here. Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on Voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
The Sacktown Sports 49ers report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located besides the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers start the regular season this Sunday on the road up in Seattle. San Francisco is looking to get back into the playoffs after a disappointing 6-11 season a year ago. Brock Purdy is ready to go after signing a 5-year, $265 million contract in the offseason. Catch the game this Sunday beginning at noon right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Top 100 teacher and PGA Master Professional Kelly Stenzel offers some short game rules in Golf Magazine. 1. Stay still while putting. 2. Lean into chips with weight slightly forward during the shot. 3. For less distance, use a shorter swing and narrower stance. 4. Hit the ground to get true launch. Make a divot to get the ball in the air. 5. To hit a great bunker shot, dig your feet into the sand. 6. Swing length controls natural speed. Swing and stroke should be relatively equal back and through in size and rhythm. 7. Pivot for pitches so the club head glides underneath the ball, launching it high with spin. 8. Write it down. Calibrate your short game and put it on paper. Having some basic guidelines and a plan for your short game can make a huge difference without having to always rely on feel. Look for the full story at golf.com. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Brought to you by Xfinity. Sports are unpredictable. The price of your internet shouldn't be. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One consistent internet price for 5 years with no annual contracts. Guaranteed.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
His name means king in Arabic. Malik Monk, 27 years old from Jonesboro, Arkansas. He's 6'3". He is coming off a season where he scored the most points averaged the most points in his career. 17.2 points per game. You have 3.8 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, 43.9% from the field, 32.5% from three, 86.5% from the free throw line. In his career, 12.3 points per game, 2.6 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists per game, 43% from the field, 35% from three, 84% from free throw. And I was actually looking this up. So funny enough, in my mind, Malik Monk was second runner-up that Beam Team season. He actually wasn't. Okay, so he was second runner-up in the boring season 2024. I'm just calling it that to joke around and make fun of it. So he was first runner-up in 2024. Beam Team season, he actually finished fifth in voting for Sixth Man of the Year. So that Beam Team season, I dang near want to call it an outlier, but when this guy is playing at this level and he is balling out the way he's balling out, all right, and you look at what he's been able to do, scoring the basketball, what he's been able to do as far as passing the basketball. So that Beam Team season, he was at 13.5 points per game, 5.2 assists, 3-point attempts per game, good for 35.9%, so almost at 36%, 3.9 assists. He was playing 22.3 minutes per game. Now, last season, he played 31.6 minutes per game, and he shot up to 17.2 points per game. But again, that Beam Team season, everybody was balling out. But we have not talked enough about what if Malik Monk returns to that type of form, right? I would say this. To me, as much as I keep calling 2024 the boring season, that kind of was a happy medium. That may have been the best version of Malik Monk. Hang with me here. So 17 points per game, that was this past season. 31 minutes per game, he's probably not getting that again, and it was maybe a little bit too much Malik Monk. All right? Now, Beam Team season, he's only playing 22 minutes per game. He averaged 13.5 points per game, but everybody else was balling out of their mind. Kevin Huerter, Keegan Murray. It was just a ridiculous season. But let's go back to that season where he finished second, and he should have won Sixth Man of the Year. He's right in the middle. He's at 15.4 points per game. He's taken 5.9 three-pointers a game, but he was still at 35%, which isn't outstanding, but you can live with it taking basically six threes a game. 5.1 assists per game. Okay, so he had those assist numbers. Minutes played, he's sitting at 26. Now, all of this goes out the window if they do the Russell Westbrook thing, because I don't see how Malik is getting to 26 minutes. It might be hard for him to get to 26 minutes this season. We've had that conversation with Brendan Nunez and Kyle Ledbetter and Chris Watkins, and Frank Cardicelli's always busy. But we've had those conversations. But if you can get to about 25 minutes a game for Malik Monk with the type of efficiency he had that 2023-2024 boring season, where he's still shooting 35% from three, which you can, and he's taking 6 threes a game. He's averaging 5.1 assists per game. Turnovers, he's at 2.1. This past season, he was at 2.4, so it was better. That boring 2024 season, that's the version of Malik Monk that we need to see in 2025, 2026. And it's what nobody is talking about. Because, yes, we didn't know if Malik Monk was going to be on this team heading into training camp. As of right now, it feels like he is. They've put out the reports. The Stein line has put out reports. Multiple people have put out reports that the Kings, as of right now, are rocking and rolling with Malik Monk. And if he comes in highly motivated, highly dedicated, highly focused, with a chip on his shoulder. Oh, y'all were trying to move on from me. If there's one person I trust, that's why I was worried about that Warriors move with Malik. I was open to Kuminga, but Malik Monk going to the Warriors, they're just building an all Kings hate team with Buddy Hield and Malik Monk with all that going on. I did not want to see that because Malik Monk is that guy to play with the chip on his shoulder. He's done it for a very long time. When things didn't happen with the Hornets, gets to the Lakers, he's had that chip on his shoulder. So different players react in different ways. I used to have a coach, he told me, you got to coach people differently. You cannot, the coaches that try to coach everyone the same, that's more old school, right? As I've been watching this Cowboys documentary, Jimmy Johnson's going to coach everybody the same way. I saw Jimmy Johnson, that clip that's gone viral, when he says, if you're going to have asthma, take your asthma over there. That's insane. You cannot say stuff like that these days. But that's the old school way of doing things. Nowadays, you have to be more flexible to the different types of players that you have. Some guys might not like to get yelled at, or it's not a matter of like or not like. It's a matter of how do you get the most out of your guys. If you ripping into a certain guy motivates them, then you go from there. Doug Christie, that's what he has to tap into. If this team is going to make any type of run and surprise the heck out of everybody in the NBA world. Malik Monk, to me, he's going to see all this stuff. He's going to deal with the fact that he was on the trade block, and he is not going to cower. Malik Monk is going to come out with his hair on fire, ready to absolutely roll. And I think that is a great sign for the Sacramento Kings. Let's keep the conversation going. 11 o'clock hour coming up next. More Malik Monk, your favorite tailgate food. Ramsey he's telling me during the break that there's a very complex tailgate food that he has that everyone always asks for. So we'll get into that in the 11 o'clock hour. More Malik Monk talk. And what is your level of excitement for this King season? Has the dust settled from everything that's happened? Are you ready to be hurt? Are you prepared to be surprised? More Allen Stiles coming up next.
The Drive Guys.
I think I have that right, Jay. Yeah, boy, I see you over there crooning. R&B album coming soon, huh? Mr. Gleason. I have too much respect for the genre. Dub G. To tarnish it with my own efforts.
No. You play a part in it.
Yeah.
You can listen to The Drive Guys Monday through Friday from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 1140 a.m. YouTube and the Sacktown Sports app.
Mint is still $15 a month for premium wireless. And if you haven't made the switch yet, here are 15 reasons why you should. 1, it's $15 a month. 2, seriously, it's $15 a month. 3, no big contrast. 4, I use it. 5, my mom uses it. Are you playing me off? That's what's happening, right? Okay.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio. Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only. Then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Piri coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000
and they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority tax relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority tax relief. High voltage live boxing action returns to the venue on September 6th as Uppercut Promotions presents Thunder Showdown with 6 big fights on the bill featuring local lightweight standout Kyle Lakinlali, who enters the ring undefeated. And don't miss a big heavyweight showdown with Chinese heavyweight Junglong Singh and Sacktown's own Vikas Jia. Thunder Showdown coming September 6th to the venue at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Tickets available at Ticketmaster. Fight card subject to change.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Maida Chevy has a great selection, great factory financing and incentives. And with great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock, you'll see why everyone is saying,
Great deal, Maida.
find your great deal at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore in the Elk Grove Auto Mall. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m., 1 hour down, 3 more to go. And we're talking Malik Monk. Also favorite tailgate foods with the NFL kicking off. I'm in a weird spot right now. I got baby number 2 around the corner. The date where we're going to get things going, that is going to be Wednesday. So today is probably my last day. If I'm needed, I'll be in on Monday, but most likely today is my last day. I know I've been saying it for a long time, but it is official now. Okay, it is official now. So might happen over the weekend, but either way, Wednesday is the day. All right, dude, it's time. We're not messing around anymore. Get on out of here. So we are having some fun on a Friday. It's a fully loaded Friday. And the text line 279 is getting it fully loaded. This is my guy Murph. Smoked jalapeno poppers and wings, best tailgate foods. So the thing about the smoked jalapeno poppers, my wife, she made a mistake. So my wife has made a couple different mistakes. And hold on, before Alan, you're getting in trouble again. You know, she's about to have your second child. Be careful. But hold on. She's made some mistakes because she's chosen to make her staples, as far as food is concerned, the most annoying foods to make. So one day she decides, I'm going to try jalapeno poppers. I'm going to try to make them. And my family, they love them. So now for about 3, 4, 5 years, it's Christmas. Hey, can you make the jalapeno poppers to get everything started as an appetizer? It's New Year's. It's Easter. Whatever day, hey, can you make the jalapeno poppers? And you know, to actually make them, you got to cut the jalapenos. You got to gut the jalapenos. You got to make sure you don't touch your eyes from the jalapenos. You got to put the cream cheese in. You got to wrap them with bacon. It's a process. She's Alan. They're going to ask me to make the smoked jalapeno poppers again. All right. We'll try something else. Then she decides to make mac and cheese. And her mac and cheese is ridiculous. But again, it's a process. And it's expensive. Cheese ain't cheap. So she's made these mistakes where she's made the food that my family loves the most time-consuming types of food to make. But 279 Murph, I'm with you. The smoked jalapenos, the smoked jalapeno poppers, and of course, the wings. Look, man, my thing about wings, they gotta be crispy. I will sacrifice the sauceness for crispy. I can't do the soggy wings. I cannot. And there's nothing worse. You go to an actual wing spot. Hey, can I get it double fried, extra crispy? And it's just not. I can't do the soggy wings. I can't eat them. I literally can't eat them. But shout out Murph, great stuff there. Keep your tailgate foods coming in. We're talking about Malik Monk and what he can do. We have not talked enough about Malik Monk, what he can do on the court for the Kings if he is still in a Kings jersey. How about that? He's not. He has not gotten traded. He's not gotten moved. How about what Malik Monk can do on the court for the Kings? Let's start to turn this thing around here. Until he actually gets moved, let's talk about how Malik Monk can help this squad. Now, this all connects back to the Jonathan Kuminga deal that didn't end up happening and is basically on ice for now. I don't even know if it's on the back burner. It might not be on the burner anymore because this report coming from Bobby Marks, all right? The Bulls have increased their previous offer for Josh Giddey, and they are now at $88 million over 4 years. So some quick math for you. They basically gave him $2 million more a year. That's the quick version of that. So they upped it by $8 million. They were at $80 million. So they said, okay, we'll give you $2 million more a year. So now he's at $22 a year, and the reports that he is still looking for a contract closer to $30 million. That's not going to happen, Josh. I mean, look, the Bulls are saying, look, we'll give you a little bit more. Here's 22 a year instead of 20. We really don't have to do this. I know they traded Caruso for him, so it would look bad. He's not signing. This is a different situation. He's not signing the qualifying. I just don't see him doing that. He's going to try to stretch this out a little bit further, but maybe he hopes at this point to get to 25. So now these teams are starting to blink a little bit, not terribly. And if you're keeping track at home, this is exactly what we feel like is going to happen with Jonathan Kuminga and the Warriors version of that. Hey, we'll remove the player option, we'll switch the team option to a player option. Maybe they'll give him a little bit more money. So that is the update on Josh Giddey and how some of these teams. So now you have two. I guess Josh Giddey isn't resolved. So now you have the Cam Thomas situation is resolved. He's going to take his chances with that qualifying offer. Josh Giddey now, a day later, maybe a day later, 2 days later, Josh Giddey is being offered a little bit more money. Does he just sit on that? Or, if you're going to keep going up, maybe the Bulls say, no, well, this is where we're done here. Here's $8 million extra bucks. This is where it ends. We still are looking for the Jonathan Kuminga stuff. And Quentin Grimes, maybe the most random situation, because Quentin Grimes, he had a good run, and I like Quentin Grimes, but on that Sixers team, when the Sixers are best, Quentin Grimes is the fifth seed. Quentin Grimes is the fifth seed on that, the fifth option on that team. So Quentin Grimes, he's basically trying to say, y'all ain't going to stay healthy, all right? We isn't leaving we're not going to stay healthy, so you're going to have to pay me more. 916, and look, I know people are always running around, and you might not catch everything, not to scare anyone. 916, wait, is Allen leaving the show? No. Maybe you've been running around. Like I said, summer's been busy for everyone. My second child is coming, and she will be here at the latest on Wednesday. So today is probably my last day for a couple weeks, about 3 weeks, about a little less than a month or so. And then I will be back on media day, ready to rock and roll for the King seasons. I'm not going anywhere. Okay, I'm not going anywhere. I'm just taking a little breather for some leave to enjoy my two children That's what's going on there. So I saw that one, and I understand people are always running around, so just wanted to make that clear. I also wanted to discuss just your level of excitement for the Kings going into this season, right? And has the dust settled from everything that's happened? Do you just not have any feelings? I know me personally, might sound messed up, but I'm more excited. I'm more excited for the players that aren't starting than the players that are starting. I do want to see what Keegan Murray does. I think this is a huge season for Keegan Murray. And we started this Keegan Murray conversation literally a week ago last Friday. We cleared everything up. I had a lot of conversations over the weekend about Keegan Murray. Apparently, it's not a big deal that he hasn't been signed yet, but he does have to be signed before the season starts or he will become a restricted free agent. There's a sick part of me that wants to see Keegan Murray unsigned just because I want to see what he does. I want to see if he's got that dog. If he gets the contract, he's already got the contract. If he doesn't get the contract and he goes into restricted free agency, I don't want the Kings to lose him, but I am a bit curious to see Keegan Murray in dog mode.
I get that, but Keegan Murray looks, and I could be still corrected, Keegan Murray is the type of dude that looks like contract really doesn't motivate him that much to play. I mean, he's blessed to be in the NBA, but I'm not led to believe it brings any extra added motivation.
But if that's not going to motivate you, if Ramsey, the team that drafted you, right? And I know it's a different regime now. If they say to him, we want to see what you do this season, we're not going to give you even a Jabari Smith Jr. extension. We're not going to give you that. We're going to let you hit restricted free agency and dare someone to match us and dare someone to pay you and price you out of what we're willing to pay you. I'll put you like this. If that doesn't get him going, then nothing will.
I can't say one way or the other. It just he seems like he's that type of person that I don't know if that is a driving force or a motivator for him.
It has to. This is his well-being.
Like this. He doesn't outwardly express it as much.
No, he does not. But this is his well-being now.
True.
He would be going into this. He ain't got no contract. That's what I'm saying. If they give him the extension, which he does deserve an extension, but I could see sitting here, right? And let's say they give him the extension. I could say sitting here in about late December, early January, Keegan's been the fourth option. It's just kind of what we've seen. And everybody saying, why did they give Keegan the extension? Versus you want to see how somebody acts when you put their feet to the fire, then put their feet to the fire. Now you could get burned.
True.
But there's a sick part of me that wants to see an unsigned Keegan Murray just to see what he would do. I don't want the Kings to lose him, but I want to see if he's got, to your point, Ramsey, because I think your point is, I see on the chat as well as the text line, Allen, I just don't think he's got that dog in him. There's only one. If he gets the extension, we may not ever see. But could Scott Perry be thinking, this is not the craziest bet I could make? Is it worth it if you lose him? Probably not. But Scott Perry, as he's evaluating everything, I want to see Keegan with his feet to the fire. I want to see Keegan ticked off. He would have think about it like this. He could have a locker room of a bunch of ticked off people.
I want to, as you were saying, I want to address the word air quote dog about Keegan Murray.
Okay.
That just might not be his personality. And
we're never going to know.
I get that. And what I was going to say about that is what do you call it, for example, when he busted Utah for 47 and hit the 12 threes?
No, we've seen flashes.
Do you call that dog or do you just call that Keegan just being in the zone?
It's not about whether the ball goes in or not, right?
True.
I think the ball will go in more if Keegan is more aggressive. It's the mindset.
And we have seen Keegan be aggressive, not just with that. We've seen Keegan dunk on people.
That's what I'm saying.
We've seen Keegan take it to the rack and try to dunk on people.
It's sneakily, funny enough, it's sneakily the most overused phrase in sports. He's got sneaky athleticism.
I mean,
it does actually fit here.
And case in point, the one that I still reference with him, like having the athleticism or having the aggressiveness kick in. We remember what happened not this season, but last season in the in-season tournament game against OKC, where he went and just banged out on Chet.
Yeah.
He took a baseline and just went one-handed, banged out on Chet. I'm like, I see you, Keegan.
Right. We've seen, but that's what I'm saying. Think about it. I'm not saying to do it, but if you're Scott Perry and your decision is this team is set at 35.5 wins, right? It's going to take a lot of things to go right in order for us to pull this thing off, okay? We know what the vets are. We know Zach LaVine. We know DeMar DeRozan. We know Domantas Sabonis. We know that. Now, we know what they're going to bring to the table. As far as pushing people, okay? Now, Keon's is a little bit different because it's unrestricted. They could get burned, right? But as far as pushing people, the rest of that rotation, to be honest with you, if you don't sign Keegan, you'd have a highly motivated Keegan because he's going to hit restricted free agency. You got Keegan on contract. You got Keon unrestricted, so you might get burned, but you got Keon playing for a contract. Then, who did we just talk about? You got Malik Monk, who's been on the trade block all off season. This could be a team of just the most ticked off team in the NBA. And maybe Scott Perry saying, look, our ceiling is not that high anyway. I don't want to lose these pieces and not get back anything for them, but I'm willing to see if pushing them in this way gets us something. That might be insane on a Friday, but it's not the craziest thought process.
I will say this in terms of like the three players that you mentioned. I think the hardest player to replace would be Keegan Murray because we know what the value is in the NBA on wings and how
but it's restricted.
Regardless, how difficult it is to obtain wings and to have wing depth. I mean, in my personal totem pole, Keegan 1, Malik 2. If you lose Keon, oh well.
Wow. Well,
I've never been, but again, personally, I've never been the biggest fan of Keon Ellis myself. He's grown on me when they first inserted him. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's grown on me. But you can find a 6'3" to 6'4" guard that could play defense like him, give you 12 to 14 points a game, and technically. You had that in a shorter version that has now started to flourish now, not just Toronto, but in Miami.
Here we go with the Davion stuff.
I mean, I personally I love the Davion draft pick when they made it. But I understand sometimes some players don't fit in certain places. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out here in Sacramento, especially with the previous regime that was here. They just didn't work for some reason, and Eric Spoelstra finds a way to get something out of players that I can never fathom that you're like, wow, okay. Like, and I'll go down the list. He's got it out of Davion. He got it out of St. Mary's of Stockton's finest, Gabe Vincent, before he went to the Lakers. He's got it out of Haywood Highsmith. Most people are like, who's that? Haywood Highsmith is a integral piece to what the Heat do as a wing player and wing depth. I could keep going. I could go down the list of players that the Miami Heat fit, and they say Heat culture, quote unquote, in air quotes, if you're listening to us on the radio. And there's players you look at like, how's this dude still have a career? And then he flourishes in Miami.
Well, and that's the same. And it happens the opposite way, right?
Very true.
The Lakers went and got Gabe Vincent. He has not been anything like what he was in Miami on the Lakers.
Part of it, he was hurt.
Sure.
Part of it he was hurt, but as you were saying, that may not be a good fit for him. I know they paid him, but getting paid isn't everything in the league.
No, I hear you.
You can get paid and be in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, there's situations I've seen. Just case in point, going to wing different team. I was watching some of the Rico Hines videos. If you watch, for those that watch Rico Hines over the summer. I think that Denver team is going to be scary, especially with Cam Johnson. Cam Johnson was running with like Aaron Gordon, who looked like he had been in the gym hooping. He was hitting threes right and left at that UCLA gym.
Yeah.
But I think Cam Johnson for them is going to be an upgrade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In comparison to Mr. Porter, who I don't know what his basketball motivation ever has been. I mean, understandable. Yeah, he had the back issues earlier in his career, but now I don't know what it is. And just watching the video of them hooping, it was Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Cam Johnson. They had a bunch of the young cast there, like Strother. I think Zeke Naji was there. Peyton Watson, obviously, because he's a UCLA dude. And like they ran their Nuggets team like we saw with the Kings, with the youngsters they had with like Neat Clifford, Daquan Plowden, Maxime Reynaud, and others, and Isaac Jones. And they were out there hooping, just trying to get some chemistry together, just like the Kings were in those Rico Hines runs, which are, if those of you that aren't familiar with it, are probably some of the best runs in the offseason you can get.
Yeah, and the Keegan Murray thing, I understand that people want to say, Allen, he is who he is. My point is that we don't know that until he gets put in a situation. And I'm not saying to play with fire, but he is a restricted free agent. So he'd have to really get priced out for the Kings to say, all right, see you later. And again, it's a risk. The Keon risk is bigger. So in a weird way, if you are, and I'm higher on Keon than you are, Ramsey, I've been of the mindset, if you got to move on, if you can get a first rounder or something from Keon, Kyle and I did it earlier this week. Kyle, once we got to the 18th pick, that's where Kyle said, I do an 18, pick number 18 for Keon Ellis. Keon is a different situation because I do think you're right to a certain degree that you can find guys like Keon, and the Kings are just in a different space than what a random team, the Cavs or somebody like that could do with the Keon Ellis.
Like y'all brought up somebody yesterday on the air that I would take here in Sacramento in a heartbeat, Isaiah Joe from OKC.
Oh, of course, because like we say, he messed me up on prop talk. He got squeezed out of the rotation.
Yes, exactly.
He's not even playing. So there are guys like that out there. Keon, it's a great story. We understand that, and fans are going to be more connected. Keegan, it is restricted free agency. You have more of a level of control, and I do think it's kind of Scott Perry saying, "Show me. I'm from the show me state." And Keegan, if you on Ramsey's side of things and you think, I just don't think Keegan's going to win. Now, listen, I don't believe that Keegan is going to wake up and it's going to be a motivational video, because I told y'all how I love watching motivational videos late at night. I'll watch them on TikTok, whatever it is. Could be Denzel, Michael B. Whoever pops up. Kevin Hart even has some good motivation. 50 Cent will pop up for me. Whoever it is, I don't see Keegan waking up with some motivational music playing in the background. Oh, y'all not going to sign me? Okay, it's time to work out. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I do think he's not going to outwardly act like that. But I do think his aggressiveness on the court could change if he knows he's playing for a contract.
And here's what we've seen with Keegan. I'm not going to speak what we've seen here in Sacramento. Go back and watch his final season at Iowa when he became the man after Luka Garza left. That's what got him to be the number 4 pick in the NBA draft, and why the Kings drafted him number 4.
Yeah,
go watch that tape, and that's probably the best version of Keegan you'll see.
And some of the stuff that this got brought up last offseason, then it just went away. And I really do hope that Doug Christie, we're still trying to figure out what this offense is going to look like. You got Mike Woodson in there, obviously Bobby Jackson. I do hope that they innovate this thing a little bit, because all of the talk of the real hoop heads heading into this season that just happened was, why isn't Keegan, when he gets put on these mismatches, that season, everyone talks about Keegan's three-point shooting. Cool. Keegan was doing work in the post.
Exactly.
He is a big boy. And why haven't the Kings put him in position to score? Just, hey, you go to work. Now I get it. Sabonis and DeMar DeRozan, they don't help the spacing. I would say Zach LaVine does help the spacing more than De'Aaron, just from a three-point shooting aspect. There has to be a new wrinkle in the offense. You know what this is, to take it back to the Niners, because it is a football Friday as well. You know what this is? this is the last season I'm going to do this because I know he's been limited with this calf injury. We did this conversation so much, and I said, you know what? I'm not doing it again. Every season since the Niners have gotten Christian McCaffrey, there has been random conversations throughout every Niners content creator, anybody that talks about the Niners. Oh, man, I can't wait to see Christian McCaffrey in the slot more. Hey, he's such a good receiver. We don't need to see him tote the rock 8,000 times a game. And they haven't done it.
So they want to Marshall Faulk him then.
So they have not done it. So I saw this. I said, you know what? I'm not, and I think I tweeted it. I'm not doing this anymore. Okay? It's Nick Saban. They ain't doing it. So stop asking. Every season when they had Debo, the wide back, they refused to do it. So this is my last time, and you can keep me honest on this, Ramsey. Listeners, keep me honest. When we go into 2026, 2027, if I bring up Keegan Murray in the post, call me out because I'm done after this.
I'm done, but Keegan is one of those dudes, if you're a hooper and hoopers know, Keegan is a dude, you look at him, and I'm going to keep it PG ready. You look at Keegan and go, get your big butt in the post.
Get in. I know.
Get in the post.
You might not. It's hard to tell when you're watching these guys on TV because, I mean, I thought, and I think maybe he wasn't actually 6 foot, but I thought AI was 5'9" throughout a lot of my life. And then these dudes are huge. Steve Nash, I thought was barely, Steve Nash 6'2", 6'3". These are big boys. So I know it's hard to tell, but Keegan has got good size on him. That's why they play him at the 4. So on the other side, he's not Aaron Gordon athletically. We understand that. But he can do some things in the post that right now there has been no direction for him to do that. And I know somebody's typing it right now. Well, he's got to just do it. You got to, with Mike Brown, there was a specific offense.
A specific role.
This is on the coaching staff. Now, Keegan could go to the coaching staff and say, hey, I'm trying to get in the post more. Maybe if he's playing in restricted free agency, maybe he does that. But it's also on the coaching staff. And Scott Perry has said he wants to see more from Keegan offensively, and he has said we have to have more of a focus. Got to see Keegan in the post more because to that point, what Ramsey said about that year at Iowa, he was doing work in the post. It was not all 3-pointers, and he can shoot it out there. Don't get me wrong, but it was not all that. All right, let's get to the other side when we return. Somehow, some way, why my biggest fear for the Kings in 2025, 2026 is weirdly a positive. I'll explain when we get back. Down south, Sacktown Sports.
The Sacktown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located besides the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers start the regular season this Sunday on the road up in Seattle. San Francisco is looking to get back into the playoffs after a disappointing 6-11 season a year ago. Brock Purdy is ready to go after signing a 5-year, $265 million contract in the offseason. Catch the game this Sunday beginning at noon right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region, and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex Decking and Railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RBs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, one of the subplots in September will be whether Jacob Wilson could win the AL batting title. Now, he's been around 10 points behind Aaron Judge in the recent past, but if Judge were to fade and Wilson were to get hot, the A's might have their first batting champion since Jimmy Fox back in 1933.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Money and they only perfect.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sacktown Sports.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. 279. I'm with you because the Kings will match him. His defense is a big part of Doug Christie's scheme. Keegan has that dog in him. So the conversation was, is there a world where you see what Keegan does with his back against the wall and you let him get to restricted free agency and then balls out, you match whatever another team offers him? I think I hate using this F word. I think the unfair piece of that is that he is not in the best position offensively to flourish. Right. And we've had this conversation time and time again. But hey, sometimes them's the breaks. And if Scott Perry says, I want to see what he does, knowing that he could have a level of control and make a lot of money, more money than he could get from an extension if he balls out. What does he do in that situation? So maybe there's a world where that does make some sense. It really depends on how Scott Perry feels about everybody on this team. He hasn't committed to anybody on this squad that has been on the squad. Tried to trade Malik Monk. He picked up Keon's option, so you could lose Keon in unrestricted free agency if you don't figure something out. And you're up against it now with Keegan Murray. Those conversations are going to start soon. Make a decision. Hey, we're going to let him test restricted free agency, or you extend him before because you're afraid. Are you afraid? How afraid are you to lose Keegan Murray? That's the best way to ask this question. How afraid are you to lose Keegan Murray? 916-339-1140. What would you do with Keegan Murray? Would you sign him now, or would you wait, see what he does this season, and almost dare him to price himself out in restricted free agency. All right, why my biggest fear for the Kings going into 2025, 2026 is somehow a positive. So I was thinking about this last night. And I think the worst part about this upcoming Kings season is that I don't think there are going to be a ton of games where they get run out the gym. When they have the Thunder and some of the top teams in the league, okay, fine. But I think the worst thing that may happen in this season is that there are going to be so many games where going into the fourth quarter, the Kings will either have the lead or they'll be in striking distance. And that's where the other teams that are just a bit better, that are just constructed a bit better, I should say, just a cut above, will break away. That's what that is my fear and what I think is going to be the worst part about this season. Like the 35 wins, it's not going to be a bunch of, all right, they win 35 and all the other games that they lose, right? The 50 games that they lose, they're just going to get run out the gym. There's going to be a lot of hope. There's going to be a lot of close games because they have talent. Zach LaVine is going to go on those random runs like he did in Denver, where it's just not enough. It's just a little too late. DeMar DeRozan's going to take over. That's my fear, that you're getting to 35 wins, but I guess somebody can look at that and say, well, Allen, the positive way to look at that is to say, hey, there's going to be a lot of competitive games. And you're right. That is a good way to look at it. The other way to look at it is that it's just going to be very difficult from the standpoint of it's going to be pulling teeth, man, because these games are not going to be blowouts. They're competitive enough. They're talented enough. They're going to be in a lot of these games. And it's going to be one thing that happens here or there. It's going to be, how many times did it feel like last season they go on the run and it's that one three-pointer that doesn't fall. It's that one basket. It's that one stop, and then things snowball. That is my fear. But it's a positive in that it means that the Kings are going to be in a lot of games. That's my fear going into 2025, 2026. Not only are they going to be around that 35 to 40 wins, it's going to be a really tough 35 wins. Now, the wins won't be tough. The wins will be fun. But on the other side, those losses, they're not going to be too many. I think Doug will motivate these guys. And I know the last time we saw Doug coaching these guys, they did get run out the gym. But I do think that you add Dennis Schroeder, you are a better team, even if nobody else believes that. I just think they're going to be really close in a lot of matchups. We're going to go into the fourth. All right, all they got to do. And they're just not going to be able to get over the hump and get it done. That's my biggest fear with the Kings. It's not the win total is the win total, but how they get to that win total, or should I say how they get to that loss total, that's going to be the just annoying part of the season. That they're going to tease us. It's going to be a bunch of teases, a bunch of trailers, a bunch of movie trailers, but you never get to watch the full movie. By the way, new Tron coming out soon. Big Tron guy. And that looks incredible. No clue what it's about. And I don't think that the original actor is going to be in it. But big Tron guy. That new Tron looks incredible. Can't wait to go. But that's what it's going to be. A bunch of trailers. A bunch of Costco free sample. It's like if there was a Costco free sample. I just went to the one and shout out Natomas. Your Costco free sample, but then you go look to buy it and it ain't there. That somebody comes up and buys the last one right before you, over and over, a continuous loop.
Hold up. How you going to get a Costco free sample? They don't have the display right there,
I'm telling you,
right
Ramsey,
behind you to get it.
Okay, it's a specific situation where they got them out, but somebody grabs the last box right before you. And that's going to happen. Do that math for 50, 35 wins. All those losses, it's a majority of those losses, it's going to be like that. It's going to hurt Ramsey.
And you might be going to the wrong Costco, too.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
No. The Thomas is good. Brand new.
No.
I like
it's second fiddle to a
we
Costco.
rating Costco's now?
Yeah. I'll tell you where the best Costco is.
We're rating Costco's.
It's right behind where our location is. That's the best Costco in Sacramento.
All right. Look, man, I need to figure out, I need to understand what makes a good Costco. Because I get so overwhelmed at Costco.
I can address that easily.
Okay.
The type of inventory and the amount of inventory they have available. And I'm speaking on this from a previous line of work that I have been in, meaning being a professional shopper. I know which Costco's are better than others.
Okay. Well, look, I'm just saying, you get there, somebody's grabbing it. You're at one of these bad Costco's, not the Thomas. We got one of these bad Costco's. They're putting out, hey, free samples. Everybody runs up. Oh, man, this is banging. You look back, the last box is gone. That's going to be this King season. It's not going to be it's not going to be a bad free sample. It's not going to be anything like that. It's just going to be so many teases over and over and over again. And that's going to be the toughest part of this season. That's my fear, I should say. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm right in that they're in a bunch of games. I hope I'm wrong in that they can't get over the hump.
I mean, we will see. And I mean, as you've heard me say since April 17th, I want to see what this team looks like running it back. And that's mainly what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And if this team, for those that have been trying to clamor for that T word, trades, if it doesn't work by before February or the trade deadline, whenever they set that, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're speaking to it, they're in games and they're winning games.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking it up because, again, we only saw 32 games of Zach LaVine in Sacramento.
Yeah.
What type of a sample size is 32 games of Zach LaVine, let alone any player in Sacramento? That's not a large enough sample size to say, oh, he doesn't fit. Oh, this doesn't work. And with a new season, you're going to have, which at the end of this month, which will peak, getting back to the earlier segment, that'll peak my excitement a little more, is because once training camp and end of September, early October kicks in, all right, cool, it's basketball season, but they'll have 3+ weeks to be together, to gel, have preseason games to try to figure it out before October 22nd in Phoenix. So, I mean, have a little patience, and there's still time, and as we've said, there's still potential roster construction, and we'll probably end up talking about this player a little later. The Trey Lyles situation, I personally still don't understand it, but that's just me.
Well, that's a perfect lead in. When we return, now we got people texting in where the best Costco's are. What did I start that Ramsey just took to another level? So we got people talking about where the best Costco's are. That's what we're doing here on a fully loaded Friday. Who's the most fully loaded Costco? But when we return, if it's possible Trey Lyles said no to the Kings, maybe I owe the Westbrook fans, the Brookies, an apology. Let's talk about it. Allen Stiles Show on Sports.
When shopping for a new car, what do you want? A great selection? A low monthly payment? More for your trade? At Northern California's best Honda dealer, Stockton Honda, you get it all. Model year end savings are going on now. Drive away in your favorite Honda. It's savings you just can't say no to. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000.
and they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority tax relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority tax relief.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk, everything you need and nothing you don't.
Listen to the 49er Rewind daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacktownSports1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. And we are 15 minutes away from a very, very intriguing trade proposal that I cooked up last night. Now, a lot of things have to happen in order for this to be a thing. But we are living in a world of hypotheticals on this Friday. We are 15 minutes away, and I promise you, it's an Eastern Conference team, and the only other hint I'll say, it's an Eastern Conference team that, again, the point of this exercise is they are playing better than a lot of people expected. That means it has to be kind of a bad team. Or a middle-of-the-road team. So that's coming up in 15 minutes. We'll tell you what is the trade that I cooked up, and you will tell me whether I am crazy or not. We not broke, but we announced the Trey Lyles news on yesterday's show once that came through. And some people were wondering, as Ramsey kind of alluded to before the break, why wouldn't the Kings bring back Trey Lyles? And I think he's better than Dario Saric. I think Trey Lyles is better than, I'd say 20% of players that are currently on rosters. And a couple of them are on the Sacramento Kings. So with that being said, and this all started with Brendan Nunez, or the decision to have this conversation in this way. Once I got home, I saw Brendan Nunes say on X, I feel like Trey Lyles would probably be more impactful next season than Doug McDermott or Dario Saric, and Dario Saric is what Brendan says. And Matt George of ABC 10 and Locked On Kings, he says, completely agree, but I wonder if Trey even wanted to still be here. He was close with some of the guys who aren't here anymore. Like Scott Perry says, volunteers, not hostages. So that made me go, And it brought up something in my mind to the Westbrook fans that have been they've been leaving me alone now. But if nothing ever pops up, right? Let's say Scott Perry did have a conversation with Trey Lyles. Say, hey, Trey, we're thinking of keeping you on board, or what are your thoughts on this? And Trey said, you know what? I think I'm solid. I think my time in Sacramento has run its course. We don't know where Trey really fell as far as the Mike Brown conversation. Kyle yesterday was talking about how he believes that they had a fairly good relationship based on Trey coming in, kind of finding a bit of a home, 10-year career. Not to say that it's a loyalty thing or anything like that, but maybe Trey felt, you know what? I think my time has run its course. I'm going to see what else is out there. So if that did happen and it didn't get reported or hasn't gotten reported yet, who am I to say that Russell Westbrook did or didn't have similar conversations with whoever on the East Coast? And hey, thank you for your time, but I think I'd rather either go overseas, which is crazy. You'd rather go overseas or go to the East Coast, but I think I'd rather wait it out, see if something happens closer to home, whether it's an injury or any type of, might just retire like Amari Cooper or something like that. I'm saying somebody else does and Russ just slides in there. Maybe Russ had a similar type of conversation with a couple teams, and it just was so small and happened so quickly that reports just never happened. I don't think that's impossible. So that's something that popped in my mind because Trey Lyles, it might not come out. Maybe it does, but Trey Lyles going overseas now. It's not a high level story, right? A bunch of people aren't digging into the offers that Trey Lyles may or may not had. You would think, yes, Russell Westbrook is a little more high profile, a lot more high profile. So you would think that type of stuff would come up, but I don't think it's impossible that maybe it just didn't, right? Hey, I'm actually good. I'm more so focused. Before the season starts, I'm more so focused on the Western Conference. Maybe something pops up throughout the season and we can revisit. So it's definitely possible. But as far as the Trey Lyles thing, yeah, I think it is a strong chance. Even if Scott Perry were to want to bring back, or if he wanted to bring back Trey Lyles, because I do think he's better than some of the guys at that 4 position that the Kings currently have, the Trey Lyles said, you know what, it's just time for something new. No beef. I don't have a problem with Scott Perry. Everybody's gone. The De'Aaron's gone, right? Remember, Trey Lyles was one of the main guys throwing up the 4s. Somehow we got through that whole that whole time period, and we still don't know what the 4s meant, right? That was kind of their thing, so good on them. But he was part of all that. Mike Brown gone, De'Aaron gone, Monty McNair gone. They're all gone. Maybe Trey, it's no beef. Just, you know what? And I know people are going to make jokes. He'd rather go overseas and leave the NBA. Look, man, every situation is different. Maybe Trey, and again, we don't know, but maybe Trey felt, yeah, specifically to Sacramento, I think I'm okay there. We don't know. Maybe it'll come out that they just never offered him. But Matt George agreeing with Brendan Nunes saying Trey Lyles would be more impactful than Doug McDermott and Dario Saric. Matt George saying, I wonder if Trey even wanted to still be here. He was close with some of the guys who aren't here anymore. And Scott Perry says volunteers, not hostages. Maybe that conversation, it was a mutual thing. It was just, hey, seems like, you've kind of seen some things here. Trey saying, yeah, you know what? I'm going to see what else is out there. That's it.
I mean, I got two things I'll speak to of Trey Lyles. First and foremost, we appreciate his time here. Thank you for your services. And he did say, especially in the first year, he said, this is a place that I can actually call home.
Yeah.
Which he did. And I mean, if it ran its course, I understand. We Perfect. Move on with life. We understand. Thank you for your service. And on the other side of it, with him going to Real Madrid, for those that aren't familiar with Real Madrid, you got to look at their roster. They've got a squad of players that have played in the NBA. I can go down the list. I believe almost everyone except for maybe one or two players that are on their roster have played in the NBA at some point. They've got Chuma Okeke, who's with Orlando, didn't catch on, so he went overseas. They got Mario Hezonja. They got Theo Maledon, who's a younger dude that just didn't catch on in the NBA. They've got an Argentinian hooper that most people aren't familiar with, Gabriel Deck. If you've seen him play in the Olympics, that dude is a hooper. They've got Usman Garuba, who's a big dude that was with the Rockets for a minute. He can hoop. They've got Bruno Fernando, who's been a center in the league that can hoop. This man might be he's coming closer to the end of his career. Sergio Llull, he's been a point guard for Spain.
Yeah.
He was part of, especially the earlier team, that 08, the 08 game where the U.S. had a battle with Spain. I believe that was his younger years. He was within that game. They even got Facundo Campazzo, who'd played a few years in Denver, and I believe I could be still corrected, but in the Spanish league that they're playing in, I believe Facundo Campazzo just won MVP.
Yep.
So they've got some hoopers on that team, and I believe Trey Lyles may potentially move into that starting lineup somewhere.
Yeah,
he may end up being. They've got at the moment listed Chuma Okeke is the 4.
Right.
I could see Trey Lyles moving in that spot, playing 4 for them, and they've got a squad. So people think that if you leave the NBA, you're not going to it's a lower level of basketball. You got to step back and reevaluate that, because a lot of these, especially the European leagues, are almost on the same level as the NBA. And that's why a lot of these players that either they don't feel comfortable or something just didn't work out, they'll go overseas. And hey, go overseas, show yourself. It's not like the NBA isn't watching.
No. I mean, and that's what I said yesterday. Look at Yabusele. Obviously that's the Olympics. That's the highest level, but that type of stuff happens. The one thing I will say, with all that being thrown around, if he was open to come back to the Kings and the Kings decided to go in a different direction as of the Dougie McBuckets and Dario Saric, even though Dario came over in a trade, then they were tripping. They were tripping if he was open. But if it was a discussion that we're just, it's just not working out. It's not, no one's breaking up with anyone. It's just, we've had a good time. The fling is over. That's one thing. But if he was open and they chose not to, I think they were tripping. That's what I will say. 12 o'clock hour coming up next. Oh, it's time. It is time. An unlikely landing spot for DeMar DeRozan. But if things go well for this Eastern Conference team, the Kings could get the present and the future. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Allen Stiles here with Sactown Sports 1140. At Folsom Buick GMC, you'll find vehicles that combine bold style, advanced innovation, and the performance only GMC can deliver. From the powerful Hummer EV to a full lineup of trucks and SUVs, there's something built for every lifestyle. Experience the difference at Folsom Buick GMC, your destination for quality service and vehicles designed to move you forward. Visit FolsomBuickGMC.com to learn more. That's FolsomBuickGMC.com.
Need cash fast? Tap into the value of your home with a home equity line of credit from Valley Strong Credit Union. Whether it's for home improvements, debt consolidation, or that dream vacation, you can get your cash offer in minutes. That's right, just minutes to unlock the power of your home's equity with no hard credit pull to see how much cash you can get. No stress, no waiting, just smart local banking that puts you first. Grow your possibilities with Valley Strong Credit Union. Visit valleystrong.com to get started today.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
This weekend, Kohl's is giving away millions in Kohl's Cash in store. It's like you're getting free shopping money. At least that's what I tell my husband. Yep, you're just making smart financial decisions, one trendy sweater at a time. Plus, all month, enter our online sweepstakes at Kohl's.com for a chance to win $200 Kohl's Cash. Some exclusions apply while supplies last. Giveaway ends September 7th. Sweepstakes ends September 30th, 2025. No purchase necessary. 20 winners per day. Limit one prize per person for entire sweepstakes. See Kohl's.com for official rules and details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sacktown Sports 1140.
Kings talk and so much more. Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
2 hours, 2 more hours with you, 2 down, 2 to go. Here with Ramsey filling in for Kyle Ledbetter. I was texting Kyle earlier today, and well, I was joking him about the new Bieber album part 2 because he said he's not giving Bieber 40 songs worth of his time, and I don't disagree with that if that's not what you want to do. But I was telling Kyle, I was giving him some updates on my situation. Kyle will be out again on Monday. He'll be doing the morning show. Our date to get this thing going, if baby number 2 does not show up over the weekend or prior to this day, is Wednesday. So today is more than likely my last day as I hit some parental leave. It could be Monday, but it is most likely today. So just want to keep everybody locked in on that. Ramsey will be back here on Monday. All right. So as we take you up to 2 p.m., we discussed Trey Lyles. And look, if Trey Lyles didn't want to be here, cool. That's his prerogative. He's done plenty of work. And if everybody leaves the place where you've worked, or if everybody leaves something that you are familiar with, you might feel like it's time to go. If you were in a fantasy football league, right, and it was with your high school buddies or your college buddies or whoever it was, your coworkers, and every year it started to flip over a bit, kept turning over until there's only a couple people that you know. Everybody loves fantasy football, but some of it is joking, knowing who's in it, right? And you might decide, all right, I'm going to spend my time in a different fantasy football league.
Been there, done that personally, so I know exactly where you're coming from. Let's just say I might have got phased out the league, but I don't care, and it's made football much more enjoyable.
There you go. We will watch some trashy TV from time to time, and we will hop in on some Love and Hip Hop, right? And Love and Hip Hop has been around for a very, very long time. Some people have aged out. The cast changes, and you start to turn on the new season. You think, I don't know who this is, or I don't know who that is. And you decide, I don't really want to watch anymore because I have no connection to these washed up rappers. So I'm going to spend my time watching a different trashy show. So Trey Lyles might have been looking around saying, all right, I mean, who's left from the Bean team? Who's throwing up the fours with me? Nobody on the team knows what the fours even means. So maybe he felt like it was time, and whether he chose Real Madrid over other NBA teams or not, that remains to be seen. But if he wanted to come back and the Kings said, now we're going a different direction, I don't agree with that. But if it was a mutual understanding, then cool. We get it. Okay. It is time. One of the most unlikely landing spots for DeMar DeRozan. But the reason I wanted to go through this exercise is because it is a team that if they surprise some people, we keep saying that, but then we keep saying teams that we know are going to be kind of good, right? We keep saying that and then bringing up the Hawks. We keep saying that and then bringing up, I don't know, the Pistons, the Magic, teams like that in the Eastern Conference that we know are supposed to be pretty good. So I went real random, a Freaky Friday, if you will. It's also a fully loaded Friday. That's what it's been. And this is what I cooked up. There are a ton of caveats, but this is what I cooked up. An unlikely landing spot for DeMar DeRozan if things go well for the Charlotte Hornets. And they definitely need an adult in the room. The Hornets would receive DeMar DeRozan and Devin Carter. The Kings would receive Grant Williams and Trey Mann. That is the deal. Now, the deal would have to be done in January because Trey Mann recently signed a new deal with the Hornets. He came over in that Gordon Hayward deal. So they would have to wait until January. Now, again, that's why that all kind of fits, because by January, of course, we would know, hey, the Hornets are actually messing around with the 6th seed. They might even miss the play-in. Freaky Friday, probably not going to happen, but we keep talking about the same Eastern Conference teams, so I wanted to mix it up. Maybe LaMelo stays healthy. The last time we saw Brandon Miller, he was actually pretty darn good. Miles Bridges on the basketball court is a pretty solid player. They've brought in other pieces. I know Summer League doesn't matter in the same way, but their young guys look to have some promise. Grant Williams dealt with a bunch of injuries last season. He's only 26 years old. If you would have made me guess how old Grant Williams is, I would not have said 26. I can guarantee you that much. Struggled with injury. He only played 16 games last season, but for his career, 7.2 points per game, 3.7 rebounds per game, 1.5 assists per game, 45% from the field, 37% from three. Get in that corner. He's only 6'6", but we know he plays bigger. So that would move Keegan back to the 3. All right. You give them Devin Carter and Trey Mann. Here's a guy who you're always going to look at dudes differently if they got drafted by the Thunder. Always. That does carry a level of cachet. Trey Mann is 24 years old. He's 6'3". His draft profile coming into the league was that he is a willing defender. Okay. He can get his hands into passing lanes. The dude is a scorer. All right? The dude is a scorer. He only played so neither of these guys played for the Hornets last year. They were on the team, but Grant Williams played what I say, 14 games, something like that. Trey Mann played 13. Okay? So neither of them really got a true – Grant played 16, and Trey Mann, he played 13. In 181 games, Trey Mann was the 18th pick in the 2021 NBA draft. 181 games, he's averaged 9.4 points per game, 2.8 rebounds per game, 2.3 assists per game, 41% from the field, 35% from three. They would like him to shoot the three ball better, 78% from the free throw line. But the dude, he is an athletic specimen. All right. He reminds me a little bit of the Malik Monk types, but I like him as a point guard. And look, being 23 or 24 years old, I do think that he profiles better to grow into a point guard than, say, a Devin Carter. Why the Kings would do this? Well, DeMar DeRozan, by this time it's January. The Hornets have been playing pretty well. They're willing to do it. You get somebody to help you right now. And like I said, he's only 26 in Grant Williams. So that's going to help Keegan Murray, assuming you sign him to that extension, because now Keegan can play the three. Trey Mann is your point guard, or could be your point guard of the future. He does more so slot as a shooting guard, but right now he's playing backup. At 24 years old, he can learn from Dennis Schroeder. He's closer to being a point guard than Devin Carter.
God blessing me with his body.
Thank you. So that's why the Kings would do it. Why the Hornets would do it. In this situation, the Hornets are about a 7 seed, trying to fight for that 6 seed to get into the playoffs. DeMar DeRozan gives you more scoring punch. You'd have Miles Bridges, LaMelo, and DeMar DeRozan in the Eastern Conference. That could play. It gives you much more offensively than Grant Williams. Obviously, you're losing something defensively. And I didn't even say Brandon Miller. So you got Brandon Miller in there who has shown some things. And that Hornets team needs an adult in the room. And you get Devin Carter back, who, again, similar, honestly, a bit similar to Trey Mann, just not a bit behind him, I would say, offensively. Here's the other thing about, well, Allen, why would the Hornets give up Trey Mann? Well, I'll tell you this much. The Hornets don't seem to have a ton of faith in Trey Mann. They brought in Colin Sexton and Spencer Dinwiddie, okay? So you don't really do that if you're expecting Trey Mann to get a ton of minutes behind LaMelo Ball. And those moves, obviously, those are adults in the room. Those moves are moves saying, well, there's some down teams in the East. You never know what could happen. So that's why I think they would be willing to. So you get DeMar DeRozan, who is going to raise your ceiling for the Hornets, and he can be kind of that vet, help them get some runs in the playoffs. It helps DeMar, an easier situation to get back to the playoffs. You get a Devin Carter who he can learn with Sexton and Dinwiddie, give a defensive punch there, because that's not really, I know Sexton gives great effort on defense, but you can, all right, Devin Carter, this is where you become Derek White, whatever the case may be. That's it, Ramsey. That's it. A lot would have to go right, but you can crush my dreams if you want. I'm really proud of this one.
I'm gonna let Doug Christie answer what he thinks about this trade.
It's better than the Sabonis one.
I wouldn't do it personally. I wouldn't do it. I'm not moving from DeMar DeRozan and Devin Carter for someone who's still coming off a shoulder injury in Grant Williams and don't know what he looks like. I mean, you could call him a mini version of either Desmond Bain, or to pull out a football reference, shout out St. Mary's of Stockton. Mm-hmm. He looks like a mini version of Doug Martin, aka Muscle Hamster. He used to play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and had a cup of coffee with the Raiders.
So I'm telling you, man, I think there is a level of risk, but this is a situation where other teams that may have popped up and you thought DeMar was going to be more of a name as we get closer to the trade deadline, and you're looking around thinking, hey, man, this kind of helps the future. And by that time, to your point, Ramsey, we would know if Grant Williams and Trey Mann, are they healthy, whether they're playing or not. I think Grant Williams is going to play because they need somebody at that position. But Trey Mann, is he buried? Or is Spencer Dinwiddie just not playing? Is Colin Sexton just not playing? Where did they end up going there? And if Trey Mann is fighting for time, okay, cool. Well, Devin Carter's fighting for time too. They're different enough from that point guard specific perspective that the Hornets could say they're really doing the deal for DeMar DeRozan and to give their fans something to cheer about. Then DeMar DeRozan, and thank you for reminding me of this, Ramsey, then DeMar DeRozan goes into next season. That deal's not guaranteed, and the Hornets kind of hire him to have that nice run, the play-in run. Maybe they sneak into the 6th seed, and then after that, okay, DeMar, let's get you somewhere else where you can truly have a shot at this. So that's why, and then that money is off the books. And Charlotte, there's work. Look, man, I got some friends in North Carolina. I still have not gone out there, but I hear it's a pretty beautiful place. There are worse places to be. Now that $24 million is off the books for you for Charlotte, and you're able to build up on what you just did.
And you were bringing up Trey Mann. Trey Mann is almost 2 seconds away from being out of the league. Because if you didn't catch with OKC, if you don't catch with Charlotte,
that's why the Dinwiddie Sexton thing, I know they're all kind of combo-y type guards. Bringing in both of them is wild.
And they're two different, extremely different types of players, in my opinion, as well. I mean, and this is Colin Sexton's third team.
But that's still time taking away. If you have a 24-year-old Trey Mann, bringing in it's both of them. That's what's making me think maybe, and we can argue whether or not Trey Mann is worth this, but if you're looking around and it's January and the phone isn't ringing off the hook for DeMar DeRozan, and let me take a step back, and the Kings are not really in the hunt, okay, let's start to weigh things and what could help.
And like we were talking, Colin Sexton, this is his third team.
Mm-hmm.
Dinwiddie, this is his fourth team.
Right.
So, I mean, are they here to be in potentially is what unfortunately Sacramento had been referred to? Are they in basketball Siberia now in Charlotte?
I think it's worse.
So do I.
I think it's worse right now, but they believe because they have these young dudes, they believe that they're headed in the right direction.
I mean, they to me, they might have a little more promise, and then this in comparison to this other team I'm about to bring up, the Wizards, because the Wizards have a roster that makes no sense either.
Right.
With getting CJ, they got Chris Middleton, who we don't know where he is. Get well soon. You got them two with a bunch of young players in Washington.
Yeah. Well, they swung and missed so far.
Yeah.
And with the Tejan Salon thing, and I wear that. Kyle reminds me multiple times a week that was my guy. Fine. It really depends on how you feel about Con Kneppel and Ryan Kalkbrenner. Those are the two. Right, and I know they got someone else with Zion James as well. From Duke as well.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about those dudes? Because KJ Simpson and Tejan Salon
swing and miss. Those two are swing and miss in my opinion. Even though I thought KJ was going to be good coming out of Colorado, but it might not. Again, it might not be the fit. I believe Con Kneppel's a hooper.
Mm-hmm.
From everything I've seen from Kalkbrenner when he played from Creighton, he's a 7-foot stretch big. You could put him in the post. He could do what he needs to do, which Charlotte definitely needs, because here's someone else I'm going to bring up that they swung and missed on. Mark Williams.
Yeah.
They swung and missed on that.
Right.
And they moved on from Nick Richards too.
I think a lot of this and how we even get to this conversation is Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
Brandon Miller. Because these dudes, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying bringing in a vet, and they got a couple vets. I'm not saying that would make them healthier, but I mean, goodness gracious, who can stay on the court out there?
True. And here's a question I have for you. Is Brandon Miller more talented than Con Kneppel?
From what just simply because he's played in the league,
I understand.
I probably would default to yes, but I do like what I've seen from Con.
Again, I think personally, Con unless they shift Brandon Miller potentially to a 3 and then if they shift and they bump Miles Bridges to a 4, I think they slide Conklin in right at the 2.
I'm telling you, man. People were high on Brandon Miller. Look,
I know that.
Conversations. Where is he when he actually plays, and can he stay on the court? But that's the same thing with it starts at the top with LaMelo.
LaMelo can't stay healthy.
So 279. This is Allen. You're crazy. Worst trade of all time. I thought your Anthony Black trade was bad. Why are you trying to make the Kings worse and the Hornets better? That comes down to how you feel about DeMar DeRozan. Because this would have to happen because of Trey Mann when he signed. It would have to happen in January. So if you feel like that right now because you think the Kings are going to be competing, I'm not doing this deal. Obviously, if the Kings are the 5 seed in January, I'm not doing this deal. If the Kings are the 12 seed in January, I might think about it.
Yeah.
So
like you said, 5 seed, ain't no way. Ain't no way I'm even contemplating it.
I can't do the deal now. But the year is 2026. The month is January.
Or can they do it after December 15th?
Based on what I saw on Fanspo, because of Trey Mann, it would have to be January.
Oh, January, not December 15th. Okay.
Yes, that's what I read according to Fanspo. So if the Kings are the 5 seed, I'm not doing anything.
If the Kings are the 5 seed, you're looking to upgrade.
How about this? If the Kings are on track for 35 wins in January, that is where we can enter this trade. You don't have to do it.
No.
But that's my thought process for this. If the Kings are exceeding expectations, no, 279, I'm not doing that deal. Come on now. I'm not doing that. I'm saying they are whatever they would be at to be on track for 35 wins, and you can have a Grant Williams who's only 26. I just found out. I thought that brother was at least 29.
No, he's only 26.
26, and you're taking a flyer on Trey Mann, who's 24 years old, and he's shown flashes, just hasn't. This is a second draft situation for somebody in DeMar DeRozan where you're looking around the Heat. Hey, we're good. The Raptors have already kind of said, hey, we're good. Okay. And there is a team out there that thinks, hey, we're one score away from having a nice run here. And then we move on from DeMar DeRozan or whatever the case is. And I think I don't think the Hornets will be that team.
No.
But look, man, like I said, I'm tired of sitting here doing the Hawks every single day. I'm tired of doing the same teams. We're in the spirit of NFL Friday, Football Friday. We talk about surprise teams and who could show up. They could be my Carolina. I don't know what it is about Carolina when I still have never been there. Actually, I did go there. What was it? I went there. What was it? One of the North Carolina teams back in the day when I was playing baseball. So I have been to North Carolina, but did not get to enjoy North Carolina. I don't know what it is about North Carolina today, but that's my surprise team, Ramsey, the Panthers. I am not calling the Hornets my surprise team in the NBA. What I'm saying is if they are a surprise team, maybe they say, let's go get a DeMar DeRozan to shore up the scoring for the rest of the season. And here goes bye-bye Grant Williams and bye-bye Trey Mann, who we clearly don't believe in a lot because we brought in 2 more guards.
Yeah, that and just speaking of Panthers, we'll agree to disagree because I don't think the Panthers are going to be good at all this season.
We got football coming up in a second.
We'll get to that.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, this is all hypothetical, people. I mean, and again, here's my thing. If for some reason you absolutely have to move on from DeMar DeRozan, you got to give him some level of respect and potentially, I'm not saying allow him to dictate where he wants to go.
Very true.
But that man's been in the league for 16 years, been a model teammate. If you're moving on and he has a destination or two that he wants to go to,
yes,
cool. I would give him the much more higher level of respect that for some reason the Kings gave De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd have made De'Aaron Fox sit and wait.
Now, look, the Kings could be there, and you could say no to it. You could say, Allen, I don't want to do the deal. You don't got to call it the worst trade of all time, but maybe that's how you felt. And we encourage on this show, as long as you're respectful, and 279, of course, was. We encourage you to be real and be open, all right? I can take it. I've heard worse. Some of you on the text line go crazy.
As your homie TC says, be real with yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So I hear you. So now, fine. You end at 35, 36 wins. You go into the offseason. That's a non-guaranteed contract. And you just wait and you say, hey, at that point, I would really be surprised if DeMar wants to stay. That's why, to me, what's the difference between being on track for 35 wins in January and the offseason after that season? It would, if DeMar wants to stay, yeah, you take that into consideration. Or if I really don't want to go to Charlotte, that's on Scott Perry. That's a PR conversation. All right, we don't want DeMar, we don't want to tick off DeMar or have people talking worse about the Sacramento Kings. They could decide to make that decision. But from a basketball perspective, I know Grant Williams, he does deserve a spot on our bad PR list. He's got some bad PR in the NBA. Okay. Grant Williams can play basketball.
He can.
Okay. He can play basketball. Trey Mann, to me, and so that is a positional thing. You don't want Kyle Kuzma? Fine. I understand that. You can get a different 4 in Grant Williams, who's probably better than, right now he's better than Kyle Kuzma.
Potentially. And like I said, my whole drawback with Grant Williams is that shoulder injury. And if he's going to make an entire comeback from it.
So you can get Keegan to the 3. You're giving Keegan a bigger role offensively.
I'd actually leave Keegan at the 4 because to me, he's
well, I'm not playing Grant at the 3.
Just because you think he's too slow?
Yes.
Okay. I only say keep him at the 3 because Keegan's taller than him. Keegan's taller and a wider body than Grant Williams.
He was supposed to be Draymond, right, for a while. He's supposed to be Draymond. So that's what I would do there. And then Trey Mann for Devin Carter, that to me is just, let's just give each other a different situation.
Potentially. And again, it would be a third situation from Trey Mann. And that's why I'm saying Trey Mann is closer to being out of the league than he is to finding himself in the league.
And Devin Carter, I mean, he's not there only because Trey Mann has been around longer, but this is a big year for Devin Carter, wouldn't you say?
It's a big year for Devin Carter because he was injured. We don't, and no one truly knows what Devin Carter really is.
Exactly. Great stuff on the other side. Let's get to some football. Like I said, man, look, I teased it to start the show. This Christian McCaffrey stuff, there's no way around it. It's bad. And I know what they're saying. There's no alarm bells, but it's bad. And we'll explain to you why when we return. Allen Stiles, Sacramento Sports.
Is it me or is it musty?
Oh, damp. Check the bathroom.
Damp! Wait!
Yeah?
I'm ordering Damp Red!
Get rid of the damp by trapping excess moisture with Damp Red.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious streamer. Collider says everyone should be watching. Catch Britain's next best series with BritBox. Stream acclaimed new originals like Code of Silence.
You read lips, right?
And Linley, based on the best-selling mystery series.
Say hi, Linley. Take it from here.
And don't miss the new season of Karen Pirie coming this October.
You don't look like police. I'll take that as a compliment.
See it differently when you stream the best of British TV with BritBox. Watch with a free trial today.
Let's go!
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the final days of Sleep Number's biggest sale of the year. All beds on sale. Up to 50% off the limited edition smart bed. Ends Monday. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
This weekend, Kohl's is giving away millions in Kohl's Cash in store. It's like you're getting free shopping money. At least that's what I tell my husband. Yep, you're just making smart financial decisions, one trendy sweater at a time. Plus, all month, enter our online sweepstakes at Kohl's.com for a chance to win $200 Kohl's Cash. Some exclusions apply while supplies last. Giveaway ends September 7th. Sweepstakes ends September 30th, 2025. No purchase necessary. 20 winners per day. Limit one prize per person for entire sweepstakes. See Kohl's.com for official rules and details.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Mocash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RBs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive. Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sacktown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sacktown Sports app.
Taking you up to 2 p.m. See, man, this is what I'm talking about. I get a text, and no, it's not from Wifey. I get a text from Whitey Gleason, and I'm going to count the O's, okay? Whitey Gleason, Trey Man is horrible. One, I can't even do it on the air. There's at least 20 O's. So Whitey is going to come into the crosstalk ready to roast me. Whitey, I know you're listening. I grinded the tape last night, Whitey. Okay? So you come in here. You want to talk about, hey, look, Devin Carter, and this is what I responded to Whitey with. I said, I'd rather lose Devin Carter for a 24-year-old Trey Man than Russell Westbrook.
I'm surprised. I know this is my text. If I would have texted you, I would have hit you with a flame and a garbage can saying Trey Man is hot garbage. So I get where he's coming from. With
so Whitey is trying to roast.
O's.
Whitey is trying to roast. Okay, you got to sit right next to me here, Whitey, in a couple hours. So keep that same energy. 916-339-1140. So look, this is still going better than the Sabonis to Orlando trade. Okay, so if I can get past that, then that's all I need. That's all I need. The 279 was following up, basically just saying, why are we trying to break up this squad? DeMar is too clutch, and, that basically kind of similar to your take, Ramsey. You just want to see it. Once again, this is in January if they're on track for 35. You can't even get Trey Man until January because of the extension, the contract that he signed. So by January, we would know what this team is or is not. All right? So that's where it's at. 916-339-1140. Is this a horrible trade or not? Do you agree with Whitey Gleason? Would you add more O's to the horrible? Because I like it. I like it. That's why I came up with it. And I was proud of it. And Ramsey took it easy on me. Whitey Gleason is not letting me off the hook. Whitey will join us in a little over an hour. 916-339-1140. As we get, it is a football Friday after all. As we get to our Football Friday. This Christian McCaffrey stuff, man, it's not great. So I'm driving yesterday, and somebody hit me up and they're like, hey, did you hear about Christian McCaffrey? And it all came out in the afternoon during the drive, guys, that the 49ers are listing Christian McCaffrey as limited today's practice. This is yesterday, due to a calf issue. So everyone, here we go again. Adam Schefter got 20,000 likes on that. 20,000 likes for an update, because from fantasy to reality, everybody's thinking, here we go again. Just last week, Kyle Shanahan was saying how good he looked and how explosive he looked. And it was either Kyle Shanahan or one of the coaches saying, you forget how explosive he is. And now we're back here.
Calf equals what did he have last year? Bilateral Achilles tendonitis.
Yes, it's all connected.
Yeah, the calf bone's connected to the calf muscle's connected to the Achilles.
Yes, and that is a problem. Going back to Dre Greenlaw. A lot of people didn't know this or didn't remember this. In that Super Bowl, Dre Greenlaw had calf issues prior to the Super Bowl. A lot of people don't remember that. Okay? So Tom Pelissero, he's trying to get everyone to calm down, and I will give my thought, not on Tom, because he's getting the information from somewhere, but I got some thoughts on what Tom had to say. Here it is.
For week one, McCaffrey popped up on yesterday's injury report as limited with a calf injury. I will say this cautiously. Here is what I would tell you. I do not get the sense, based on the conversations I've had so far, that there are alarm bells going off about Christian McCaffrey at this point. If there is any player you are going to take precautions with if he feels something in practice, it's the guy who's arguably your best player and missed most of last season because of a variety of different ailments. We also know that calf injuries can be tricky. At times they are precursors to Achilles injuries. McCaffrey had issues with both his Achilles last year. Again, I do not get the sense that this is DEFCON 1 at this point, but the 49ers will be back out on the field this afternoon. Kyle Shanahan will address the media. We'll get a better sense about what, if anything, McCaffrey is going to be available to do when they kick off the season on Sunday against the Spurs week one. McCaffrey popped up on yesterday's injury.
I'm sorry, man. This was Tom Pelissero, okay? And the whole alarm bell things, I'm going to say this as respectfully as possible. I just don't really believe the Niners. I do not believe the Niners. They said the same types of things last season, and then somebody snuck a picture of McCaffrey on his way to Germany. Okay? I'm just going to believe my eyeballs. And I'm just going to believe that Christian McCaffrey is healthy when he is playing. I don't really care about anything else the Niners have to say in regards to Christian McCaffrey. Because either they don't know or they're stretching the truth. That's what it is with Christian McCaffrey. We went over this for a year. There's no alarm bells. Well, there haven't been any alarm bells, but we're still supposed to sit here and believe that on Thursday, before the first game of the season, they did the same thing last season. Oh, well, if it was a regular season game, McCaffrey would have played. Then he didn't play. Oh, well, if it was the playoffs, then he would. Enough. And maybe they don't know. I'm not saying that maybe they're like Steve Ballmer. They just don't know. Maybe that's the situation. But I do not believe anything coming out of the Niners camp in regards to Christian McCaffrey. I am just going to sit here and wait and see if this brother actually plays. That's it. If you're a Niners fan, I'm sorry. Maybe that was supposed to make you feel good, but I would rather somebody tell me the truth. Right? This is not, baby, do I look fat? Right? I'm not going that direction, but I would rather someone tell me the truth than continue saying everything's okay until it's not, because that's what they did last season.
Exactly. And I'm going to look into the camera we got here for those that are San Francisco football fans. Please tell me how you're using this schedule as your basis to how is this team going to be that much more improved than what they were last year. They won 6 games last year. Please, I am still curious on how all these prognosticators are telling me they're going to get to 12, 13 wins this year. And you start with this, with the Christian McCaffrey calf injury, lower extremity injury, which he's dealt with on numerous occasions. I would like to know 916-339-1140. Please tell me how this is to occur. I don't see it.
Yeah.
I think at best, and I've been saying it, and I'm being as professional as possible, I think they get to 9 wins at best, which in that division, in my opinion, that would make them the third best team in that division. Because I personally have the LA Rams ahead of them, and I've got the Arizona Cardinals ahead of them this season, in my opinion. Seattle, we don't know what they are. And speaking of Seattle could sneak in and steal this game on Sunday, week 1 at Lumen Field, especially if Christian McCaffrey doesn't play. You don't know where this is going to lead the confidence and or team psyche, team vibe of the San Francisco football team.
I will revise what I said as far as, well, and actually, I don't even know if I want to revise it, but if I were to revise it, I will say this. All I want to hear from the San Francisco 49ers today is whether or not Christian McCaffrey will play. If I hear some type of game time decision nonsense, I'm done, dude.
He's not playing.
He's not. If it is, if Tom Pelissero, the information that he got, I'm assuming from somebody in the Niners org, right, or very close to the Niners org, based on that information, I just need to hear one thing. Is he playing this weekend? Because if he's not playing this weekend, then everything, I already null and voided what the Niners say regarding McCaffrey. But it will definitely be voided if you try to hit us with some game time decision. Either he's playing or not.
Exactly.
Right? Either he's playing or not. When we return, we continue the Christian McCaffrey conversation because I do think, just from my point of view, I'm not anything close to a pro athlete, but I did rupture my Achilles, and I do feel like I know what might be going on with Christian McCaffrey. There's basically 2 options here as far as my thought process is concerned with Christian McCaffrey, and I see the Christian McCaffrey jokes coming through. Nicely done from the text line, but we're not joking about his injury. Of course, we're also going to discuss, we have a couple contracts to read through. We're also going to discuss which of these contracts will age worse. Allen Stiles, Sacramento Sports.
Hello, I'm Frank Cock with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. The U.S. job market showed more signs of cooling in July. Government data reveals job openings fell to 7.18 million, the second lowest level since the pandemic. That's down sharply from the record 12.1 million just 3 years ago. Hiring has slowed with about 5.3 million people being brought on board just last month, nearly bounced out by quits, retirements, and layoffs. The overall hiring rate is stuck at 3.3%, its lowest level in more than a decade outside the pandemic. The silver lining? Layoffs remain low. Companies are holding on to workers as sales stay steady, and labor shortages make future hiring uncertain. Still, the layoff rate has crept to 1.3%, edging closer to pre-pandemic norms. Economists warn that conditions are softening, leaving job seekers with fewer opportunities. Eyes now turn to the Federal Reserve, which could cut interest rates in 2 weeks. But businesses say more clarity on tariffs may matter just as much for hiring ahead. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth, member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
This is Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports 1140. At Folsom Buick GMC, the bold and powerful Sierra 1500 Crew Cab Denali is built to stand out on the road. With advanced features, premium design, and the performance you'd expect from GMC, it's a perfect combination of strength and style. Discover the difference at Folsom Buick GMC, where every vehicle comes backed by a 20-year, 200,000-mile limited guarantee. Visit FolsomBuickGMC.com to learn more. See dealer for details.
Hey, Sacramento homeowners, imagine the coolest, most comfortable summer in 30 years, leaving air conditioning giants drowning in overstock. That's your golden ticket to massive savings right now at Sierra Pacific. We've forged powerhouse partnerships with the world's top manufacturers. They trust us for flawless installations, unbeatable service, and our massive reach across Sacramento to move their inventory fast. In return, exclusive, jaw-dropping discounts just for you. Upgrade your home with premium systems at rock-bottom prices, installed by the region's elite craftsmen, and backed by ironclad warranties and legendary support. Plus, snag huge tax credits and SMUD rebates to slash costs even further. This inventory clearing bonanza won't last. Seize it today. Call Sierra Pacific for your free in-home consultation and discover the perfect system for your ultimate comfort. Dial 916-638-0543 now or head to SierraPacificHome.com. Don't miss out. Your cooler, cozier home awaits.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Attention taxpayers, if you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game, offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Sacramento, are you ready for live entertainment? The Sacktown Sports Live Events calendar is packed with the biggest shows. Catch country star Megan Maroney September 20th at Lake Tahoe Amphitheater at Caesars Republic. Then, don't miss the Doco Block Party Sunday, September 28th from noon to 4. Free fun for the whole family. Games, live music, kids activities, photo ops, and special offers from Doco merchants. October heats up with Keith Sweat, October 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Country fans, David Nail plays Goldfield October 9th. The same night, comedian king Bert Kreischer takes the stage at Thunder Valley. Then it's Justin Moore, October 16th at Hard Rock Live, followed by hilarious comic Jimmy Carr on October 17th. November brings big laughs with Trevor Noah, November 9th at Thunder Valley. And check out the Isley Brothers November 14th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Don't miss a moment. Get tickets now and see the full lineup at sacktownsports.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. All of them top quality, hand-selected by their general manager, Chuck Dean. You can see for yourself their huge selection at sacksuperstore.com with the lowest prices and the best car buying experiences anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep.
By Chris Jackson, who covers high school football for West Coast Prep. Some huge games happening this weekend. So starting tonight, Friday Night Lights, baby. Friday Night Lights. So Chris Jackson will join us in about 15 minutes. If you have any questions about the high school football scene, get them on in there to the text line 916-339-1140 or to the SAC chat, and we will get those questions over to Chris. I got some questions about De La Salle because they barely squeaked past that Florida team. And next up, they got, it's just that school that Barry Bonds and Tom Brady went to. They got Sarah, and they got to head to Sarah, right, Ramsey?
It's at Sarah tomorrow afternoon at 2 p.m. Second straight Saturday 2 p.m. game at Sarah, which we'll get into with Chris. They just played a little team that's barely on the border of Sacramento County named the Folsom Bulldogs.
There you go. And Folsom, of course, with Ryder Lions. Also, I saw a profile on KCRA, St. Mary's Kenny Moore. I want to ask Chris what makes Kenny Moore so good. So that's coming up in 15 minutes, and excited to talk some high school football with Mr. Jackson. Okay, so we got an update during the break. Literally, we went to break, and this came through about 20 seconds later. All right, this was at 12:40 from Nick Wagner, who covers the Niners for the four-letter network ESPN. 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey is, in all caps, is in uniform and warming up on the field during early open portion of Friday's practice. We'll hear more from Kyle Shanahan in about an hour. That's what Nick said. So you do that math, that'll basically be around crosstalk. If stuff is coming up or coming out during crosstalk, we will stop Whitey from roasting me about my Trey Man trade in order to get you those updates. But if not, I'm sure Whitey will have them for you during the drive, guys. That's all fine and good. We're going to see some report. Does he practice the whole way through? Is he limited again? And all I need you to answer is one question, Kyle. Is he playing? Now, to the point of Christian McCaffrey, I think there are two options here for McCaffrey. There's either something that he's feeling every time he tries to go 100%. Now, if you've been injured before, there is a level where you just say, bleep it. I'm just going to go ahead and do this thing and see how it goes. You have to test it out at some point. So he's still feeling something over a year later, essentially a year later with this Achilles stuff. That's the first option. The second option is that it's a mental thing. And this is real, man. I'm still, to be completely honest with you, I'm still going through it now. Right? I have not played basketball since my Achilles. And that was, Baby Styles is 2 now. I did it June 2023. Okay? And I told y'all that kind of always thought it would be my right that would have some issues. And during that stretch, while I'm rehabbing my left, what does that mean? I'm spending even more time on my right. I'll go out there, I'll shoot around in the Thomas little basketball courts, and I played that 11-year-old one time because he challenged me to one-on-one, and I won, okay? But I have not played 5-on-5, 3-on-3, anything like that. And I say in my mind, my left feels healthier than my right. In my mind, I'm thinking, is my right okay? Am I tripping? Now, I'm no Christian McCaffrey. I'm far from it. But as far as Christian McCaffrey is concerned, maybe there is a block to where he knows if I do this thing, I'm a 30-whatever-year-old running back. I'm done. So maybe there is a mental block there. But clearly something is happening, and the Niners are trying to work through it. But eventually, he's going to have to go out there. And I'll reference this that I heard from a doctor. There are basically two thought processes when it comes to the Achilles. The first thought process is that it's random. Okay? I would call mine fairly random. And we know the Kevin Durant's, the Dre Greenlaws, those have not been random. Okay? They've had calf issues, and we know that. So it could be a bit random. There could be injury. I guess there's 3 options. There could be injury that it leads to, okay? And I guess a connection to the randomness is that every Achilles, it's kind of scary to say, but this is what I was told. Every Achilles just has a certain mileage.
True.
Okay?
I mean, and I could tell, I've not, knock on wood, I haven't busted my Achilles, but I can slightly relate to Christian McCaffrey because I was diagnosed with bilateral Achilles tendonitis. Went through shockwave treatment, all that. I know where my issues came from. Mm-hmm. I used to work in the automotive industry for over 10 years, and being in dress shoes, pounding the pavement, walking on that years later, it potentially started to catch up with me.
Right.
So I get where it's coming from. And that, to me, that wasn't random. Mm-hmm. Just like what we're saying, Christian McCaffrey, some of these other athletes. It may not be random for the simple fact that all the repetitive motion that they go through
years and years,
like you said, the mileage is going to catch up to.
Let me revise
someone.
Let me revise what I said real quick. So it's not a matter of random or not random. It's more so about, did it happen because you didn't do X, Y, and Z? That's what the doctor. Let me revise that a little bit. So basically, it's, oh, well, the first thing somebody tell you, well, did you stretch? right? The thought process is, well, if you stretch, it's not going to happen. Brothers and sisters, we're talking about the NFL and the NBA and pro athletes.
They stretch more than anybody. They stretch more than any normal person stretches. They stretch 3, 4, 5, 6 times a day.
So the thought process is it could happen because you didn't stretch. That is possible. Or you do everything you need to do, like Tyrese Halliburton, Jason Tatum, all these guys, and it just went.
Dame.
Because it went. That's it. That's it, man. So, and Dame, I believe he had calf issues too.
I believe he had
a bunch of issues.
He had a few calf issues, and then unfortunately the Achilles went.
So I don't say this to scare anyone about Christian McCaffrey because we don't know, but clearly Christian McCaffrey just does not want it to happen. The problem is Allen can decide, and I'm not getting paid the money either, but Allen can decide, I'm not going to play basketball, right?
True.
I'm not going to play basketball until Baby Styles is ready to, mess around and play some ball, and I can coach and do things like that. They don't have that option. So they have to get back out there. And McCaffrey, I'm not saying he's sitting there scared to get out there, but he might feel something, but eventually you got to go.
I mean, his calves are his livelihood for what he does.
You have to go. So we'll see how much he goes today. This is clear as day to me that he just is trying to avoid the next level. But every time he tries to take it out of his mind, just the slightest thing that he feels, he's thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want it to happen. But on top of that, there's a whole mental aspect. So
it's definitely mental.
I don't know how this thing is going to go. We'll see if he practices today. And I just want to hear Kyle Shanahan say one of two things, whether he's playing or not. I don't need to hear any other audio. I don't need to read anything else.
As you were saying, I need the 11 a.m. injury report for 1 p.m. games,
Yes.
And you need one of two words, as they always say, active or inactive.
Because if he gives us a game time decision thing, this is the same thing that happened last season. That's all I need to know. Say less, as the kid. I don't know if the kids still say that.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Say less, Kyle Shanahan. If you do not say that he's playing this weekend, say less. I don't need to hear about a game time decision because even if he does play, clearly he's not 100%. And whether it's the mental aspect or just his actual calf, if you say game time, if you say anything other than he's playing Sunday, say less. That's all I need to know. When we return the 1 o'clock hour, one more hour with you, Chris Jackson, who covers high school sports, high school football for West Coast Preps, will join us to talk about what's going on this weekend in the Sacramento area. Also, we have Adam Schefter on the Juwan Jennings saga and Tashawn Reed on what went down with Amari Cooper. Allen Stiles, Sac Down Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Michael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with AutoPay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, Setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 and monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Are you thinking about buying a new car? Well, maybe you're on the fence. Let me help you out. Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the first time I stepped into the MP of Stockton showroom, I knew I made the right choice. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV. It's comfortable, stylish, and most importantly, it's safe. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. It's just a short drive down I-5 or anytime at mpofstockton.com.
I'm tired of being broken. I'm sick of feeling whole.
Hey, this is Jelly Roll. This National Recovery Month, start your recovery journey. Choose a proven addiction treatment option that's right for you at choosechangec.org.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sacktown Sports, 1140. Live and local.
It's Allen Stiles
on Sacktown Sports.
One more hour with you. And there's one thing that brings a community together. Every Friday, I've talked about it before. I've always said I would love to live in a small town where all the stores get closed every Friday because everybody's off to see the team, to see the football team. I'd love to be a booster. My goal is to be a booster. And with NIL, I don't even know how boosters work anymore. But Chris Jackson joins us, who covers high school football for West Coast Preps, as this is a Friday and somewhere out there in America, the stores are getting closed. We're off to see our boys play. Chris Jackson, how you doing?
I'm great, man. You know what? I think you're trying to live out my dreams too. I'd love to live in one of those towns where everything shuts down on a Friday night.
You know what I always say, and my wife jokes me now when we're driving through, we were driving to Arnold a couple weeks ago for a wedding. Lot of water tanks. I've always said, I got to live in a town with a water tank because you know there's good football being played there, Chris.
Yeah, there is. And, I mean, we've got some towns in this area that have that. You go to Sutter High School, and they always win football games. They're always playing for championships. That whole community's there. You go up a little further down that road, Colusa High School won a state title 2 years ago. You know you're there when you see the water tower, and that whole town's there. So we're probably one of those sections in the state that actually has quite a few of those towns. And you go to Escalon, Oakdale, all the Houston, it's the same dang thing down there.
Talking to Chris Jackson, who covers high school football for West Coast Preps. All right, Chris, let's start with really one of the biggest stories this season, Folsom High School taking on Mission Viejo. What are your thoughts with Ryder Lyons, obviously on his way to BYU? What are your thoughts on that game and how that's going to go for Folsom?
I think it all hinges on Ryder Lyons' health. Just that game, these last 2 weeks, he's been dinged up. We saw it a little bit in that Grant game. We saw him kind of walking gingerly at times in that first half. He was still incredible. He was nearly flawless that game, right? I think 6 incompletions and every football was on the money. Last week, he had 305 passing yards in the first half, but he's not 100%. Some stuff looks like ankle potentially, but it's Ryder Lyons. You know the kid's going to gut it out and play. There was a situation last week where his head coach, Paul Doherty, said, I'm calling timeout. I'm taking you out of this game. And Ryder said, heck no, I ain't leaving this game. So coach said, actually, you know what? We're going to call a quarterback run. And Ryder, that one play, a 10-yard touchdown run to take the lead, he looked like he wasn't hurt. So with him, you've got a chance. Folsom's got a chance. They've got more guys with Division I offers than Mission Viejo, who's got 10. Folsom's got 19. But you guys know better than anybody, those SoCal powerhouses are different. There's going to be a lot of points potentially scored, a lot of fireworks. Mission Viejo's quarterback, Luke Fahey's going to Ohio State. They've got a receiver going to Miami, a corner going to Washington. This is one of those games that you almost kind of wish was on ESPN again. I know Folsom was just on ESPN, but this would be one worth it. Folsom's got a chance with Ryder with all of this talent. But Mission Viejo, that's a nationally ranked program year in and year out that's got the secondary. They've got a 3-star on the edge, a couple of 3-stars, I should say, up front. It's a matter of, does Folsom, can they get the run game going this week? How does that balance out? Because Folsom, we all know they've got the athletes on the outside with Jamison Powell and Rob Larson and those guys.
Chris Jackson here with us from West Coast Preps and the Three Stooges podcast, which he is a co-host with Jordan Jorgensen from Gold Country Media and the legendary Joe Davidson in the Sacramento Bee. Chris, gotta ask you, you brought up Grant. They're actually traveling out of the area tonight to face Cardinal Newman again of Santa Rosa. Cardinal Newman last week, unfortunately, had another local Sac Joaquin team, Manteca, go in and just beat the brakes off of Cardinal Newman, and Grant recovered from their beatdown they caught from Folsom and beat Central from Fresno. What's your thoughts about Grant going into Cardinal Newman? Do they continue this movement that they had last week with Shiron Crump, Tyrone Griffin, and others, or do you feel that Cardinal Newman will actually be competitive and potentially give them a game?
I think Grant's got this game. We saw their response from that week 1 Folsom game. Grant, they came out publicly and said that was not their best performance, everything that happened. I'm sure that's been discussed many times, but Central was as good as I've really seen, right? That we said that their response to that adversity would define them. And to beat a team like Central, who went to a state championship game last year, has numerous 3- and 4-star guys, to go up 28-0. Shiron Crump, right? He went from a 4 of 18, 4 of 19 to 18 of 26, 389 yards. They've got the athletes, the run game. You've got Tyson Griffin. You've got Thorne Watson's big and strong. 203 yards last week, and Kobe Shabazz. Little Cheese is incredible. Cardinal Newman's got an injury to his quarterback spot. Their sophomore star broke his collarbone last week as well. I'm not sure who is going to step up in his place, but I really love Grant in this matchup, and that response they had from that Folsom game, I think kind of shows me that Grant is probably still a top 2 team in this area until proven otherwise, especially with what they just did against Central. And I think they're going to be that second Sac Joaquin section team this year to go out there and win in the North Bay and beat Cardinal Newman.
Talking to Chris Jackson, who covers high school football for West Coast Preps. Now, Chris, I know we were talking about the Sacramento area, and we're just getting to know each other here on the air, but I went to a school. I did not play before you even asked, and there's a reason for that, but you might have heard of this school. It's a little school in Concord. No water tanks out there, but it's called De La Salle High School. De La Salle, they are taking on Sarah this weekend. How do you think that will go? And what are your thoughts on Deuce Jones-Drew? Back in my day, Chris, I went to school. His brother had just graduated. We didn't match each other in high school. He was just gone. I think he had graduated when I was an incoming freshman. But I know Maurice Jones-Drew. Now he got his son, Deuce Jones-Drew, going off. What do you think about De La Salle this season? They narrowly escaped beating that team from Florida. They're taking on Sarah. And how do you think that'll all go?
First off, I love to hear the guys from the East Bay Athletic League. I grew up in Livermore. I went to Granada High School.
There you go.
When I was a kid, I grew up seeing Maurice Jones-Drew and all those guys. And when De La Salle was on that, 151 game winning streak.
Yes.
I what De La Salle's got again. They're strong in the trenches. Their defense held Lakeland, a highly ranked Florida team, to 6 points. Deuce Jones-Drew is incredible on the ground. Jaden Jefferson ran 10 seconds in the 100-meter dash. He's a great GP athlete, a 4-star going to North Carolina. Sarah's much improved from last year. Yes, we saw them beat Folsom in that kind of upset victory with 19 new starters, but this Sarah team's got a 6'5" quarterback with a 4.5 GPA. He's got a strong arm. They've got a couple of really good backs in Isaiah Singleton, Giovanni. They put up a lot of points. I was at that game against Folsom last week. They've got a really big line, but De La Salle, it's hard to really ever pick against those guys with what they do year in and year out. That's just a culture. You as a De La Salle guy know that De La Salle culture is just different. It's a different type of brotherhood, and beating a team like Lakeland is one of the more impressive ones, I would say, just in America last week, and to hold them to 6 points. I like De La Salle to win this. I think it'll be closer than what it was last year when De La Salle kind of finally ended, I want to say, a year skid to Sarah. I think De La Salle makes it back-to-back, but it'll be much closer than it was last year. And Sarah's also got a kicker that can boot it from 60, 65 yards. So if this game comes down to the end, don't be surprised if that Saul Marks hits one from Sebastian Janikowski range.
Chris Jackson here from West Coast Preps. Chris, you and I were speaking off air. We were just speaking as we came into the start of this conversation about small schools. Preview the game that you and I were speaking about that you're going to go to tonight, which is considered more of a small school game in Lathrop versus Patterson.
Yeah, this is a really fun, intriguing game. More at some schools in the southern part of the section. Lathrop's 2-0. Their head coach Ryan Teixeira has really built this thing up. They had five straight campaigns below 500 before he took over. Since then, they've won 6+ games every year, league champs last year, unbeaten in league, went to the second round, and they've got a run game unlike any other. They've run for over 300 yards in both of these wins. They've only thrown the ball 10 times. Now 10 completions there, but Patterson, they played 12 Bridges in that section final last year. They played in 2 straight section finals. Yes, 0-2, but lost in overtime to Merced, who's a great program, to another East Bay team in Cal High by 3 points. They've got a freshman quarterback now who's taken over for Max Medina, who is now at Central Catholic, but Jacob Pierce, good arm, smart, poise. He looks like the next big-time quarterback. They got a lineman going to Sac State, a linebacker, Deanne Royal Tago, who's got a Sac State offer now. Jefferson's younger brother is a freshman star there, too, believe it or not. So that's a great battle. I think there's going to be a lot of different points there. I think there's going to be a lot of rushing yards, some really big-time plays in the air. But I like Patterson with that schedule, that early schedule especially, to get its first win of the year.
Chris, yesterday I was watching the news and I saw them do a highlight on Kenny Moore III out of St. Mary's. And I'm watching him. He's got all this UCLA stuff. He's wearing UCLA gloves with his high school gear. I'm thinking, who in the heck is this kid? I watched a highlight on him, and Ramsey and I were speaking about him before the show. And Ramsey was trying to tell me, no, this is that dude. And I'm thinking, man, he doesn't look like the biggest guy in the world. It looks like St. Mary's trying to do some things this season that they haven't done in a really long time. Can you convince me on what makes Kenny Moore III so good and why he deserves to be dripped out in UCLA gear where he is committed and he is headed next season?
Yeah, so first off, there's nothing that he can't do. He had 100 receiving yards last year, over 500 rushing yards. He's a great returner. Heck, if you wanted him to play quarterback, he probably could. If you asked him to play lacrosse out of nowhere, he'd probably be a heck of a lacrosse player. That's the type of athlete this kid is.
Yeah.
That's going to make an immediate impact at UCLA. He's only 3 stars. These recruiting analysts, they are experts. I get it. They're probably much better at the job than I would be, but I got a bone to pick. I don't know how he's not a 4-star. I think he should be. That athleticism, all he can do. I know Ramsey just saw him, I want to say, in the season opener. And
yes, I did.
He's got the grades to match, and he's an easy kid to root for. As nice of a young man as you'll meet, raised right, super great leader, and that athlete that I think right away is going to make a lot of noise when he's in the Big Ten next year.
That, and I'll let you go ahead and elaborate on that game tonight that they have against another private school coming in from the Bay Area. They got Marin Catholic tonight down in Stockton.
Yeah, and kudos to these teams. Both of these programs just keep scheduling the best. Marin Catholic's biggest thing a few years ago was just not facing some of the toughest teams in non-league. They've changed that. They lost a close one to Intercom, a 2-point try stop. But they've got a new quarterback as well. Their starter from last year is now at St. Ignatius in the city, but their coach, I should say, Mazi Moyed, always figures it out with quarterbacks, with offenses. I would like to think week 2 they're going to be a lot more efficient through the air, on the ground. St. Mary's, though, I mean, this was a team that's really got it all. They did lose the 5-star transfer of Sonny Gales to IMG Academy. That's always tough. You can't just replace a guy like that. But this Mary's team, I'd venture to say, they're probably more deep, more explosive at a lot of spots than last year. And having a quarterback like Jaden Galvin, who's got more experience, Ivan Huerta's a really good player on the outside. Diego Hernandez has had some big runs, big games. St. Mary's, with what they've shown so far, I wouldn't be shocked to see them continue this trend. And heck, maybe they just work their way up to a number 1 seed in Division 2.
Chris, before we get you out of here, the reason I was a bit surprised when I was watching the highlight on Kenny Moore is because, back in my day, we didn't have a transfer portal. You wanted to go somewhere, you had to sit out a year and things like that. And how players connect to colleges, right? And they almost already have these ulterior motives, or, okay, well, if this doesn't work out, I know all these other teams are interested. And don't get me wrong, I've seen the other side of it. The over-recruiting was an issue. But with that being said, do you think, and Kenny Moore was describing how it's close enough to be in driving distance, and it was a really, really good piece on KCRA. Do you think he is a guy that will be able to make an immediate impact at UCLA? Because I just look at it and I'm like, okay, well, the transfer portal, everyone gets thrown around. They end up at 3-4 different schools. Do you see Kenny Moore as a guy that can come in and stick at UCLA pretty quickly?
I really think he can. Just everything that he can do. You just can't keep him off the field. He's fast. He can play any spot. I think special teams right away, he'll make an impact as well. But it's right. You mentioned it, the transfer portal. You don't know if they have a tough year this year. There's going to be probably a lot of pressure on Deshaun Foster to get some dudes, some 3- and 4-year college guys in there. But I'd like to think Kenneth Moore is a guy that can make that impact with everything he's done, everything he's got. And if we saw that game last week, I think we all watched that game against Utah. UCLA has a lot that they need to add to that offense, right? I think, yes, their quarterback, Nico, had a lot of throws. He probably would admit that he'd want back, but I think that they could use a few more guys. On the outside, they can use everywhere, use on the slot, outside. Heck, put Kenny Moore in the backfield sometimes for some gadget plays, who knows what. It's hard for me to pick against a kid like that and to think that he's not going to kind of turn on the Jets immediately, just watching him a few times and seeing what he can do.
Chris Jackson here again with West Coast Preps and the Three Stooges podcast. Chris, I've got one more question for you, and then we'll let you go ahead and plug your podcast after this. If you were someone just that hasn't watched high school football this season, or hasn't had a chance to go to a high school football game in quite some time, on this week's docket, this week's schedule of something that may be local within the Sacramento area, give our listeners and viewers on YouTube a game that they would want to go check out.
Yeah, there's quite a few. I think it's a really good weekend of games still. That Del Oro Placer rivalry is tremendous. But Placer is number 21 in our poll. Del Oro number 22. Also think our poll covers the whole Sac Joaquin section, not just the Sacramento area. But that's a big-time rivalry that got renewed a few years ago after, I think, a 20-year absence from it. That's going to be a really good game. That's when you want to check out. Friday night, Auburn, California is always a great experience. They're on the hill, the band, everything else. Destiny Christian at Yuba City is another great one. Yuba City 2-0, some just couple of routes there. They crushed Armillo last week. Destiny Christian were 1-1. Not all of their transfers that came in are eligible, but they just had a huge win over a great Mendel Atherton program out of the Bay Area. I'd recommend going there. Go to Monterey Trail, which Ramsey, I think that's where you said you'll be tonight, where they host Antelope Valley. If
yes, sir.
Monterey Trail's got two more young guys, Nigel Flowers, Andrew McKee, freshman and sophomore that are great. Amador Valley went to a state championship game last year. Their head coach, Danny Jones, is tremendous. One of the good guys, I would say, in the business. And they've got a new quarterback after their last quarterbacks at Oregon State now, but they've got a couple of 3-star prospects. Those are some in this area, especially the Sacramento metro area, that I would recommend fans drive out to and spend a Friday night at.
Chris Jackson, thank you so much for joining us. Tell everyone where they can find you, good sir.
Yeah, of course. So on social media, it's going to be West Coast Preps _ for our main account, WCP Sacramento for the Sacramento Twitter account, and westcoastpreps.com for all the stories. Use our free trial code, WCP 7 days. The 7 is numerical, or WCP 30 days if you sign up for the year. The 30 as well as numerical. But thanks a ton, guys, for having me on, and can't wait for another great Friday night of football.
There you have it. Water tanks and football. That's what it's all about. Thanks again to Chris Jackson. We'll talk to you again soon, Chris. Great stuff. That was Chris Jackson, who covers high school football for West Coast Preps. And as Ramsey is wrapping all of that up with Chris, I'm seeing some updates, okay? The Christian McCaffrey updates are everywhere, and I'm just reading this straight from the hip from while we were talking with Chris. Matt Mayoko, who covers the Niners, NBC Sports Bay Area. Matt Mayoko, during the brief window that is open to the media, Christian McCaffrey was on a side field while his teammates began going through drills. McCaffrey was with a member of the team's athletic training staff with the title of Director Reconditioning. Okay. So, and before that, 15 minutes before that, Mayoko said McCaffrey is not with his teammates as they go through pre-practice routine. It's unclear whether he will practice today or just go through physical therapy. Look, man, I got something. And I know this doesn't make anybody feel better. I'm not trying to be that person. But the bottom line is the Niners missed their opportunity. Now, that's not to say that they won't have another opportunity, but you traded for McCaffrey. He was healthy for what? A couple seasons after you traded for him. You got to a Super Bowl. I understand nobody is out there trying to lose. Nobody's out there trying to miss a pass. Nobody's out there trying to miss a tackle. Nobody's out there trying to strike out in baseball or miss a shot in basketball. I understand that, but the opportunity is the opportunity. None of this stuff surprises me. Look at the Eagles again. Saquon, very similar to Christian McCaffrey. Dealt with injury history earlier. Saquon was just dealing with everyone and their mother and father in the box when he played for the Giants, so there was nowhere to go. But he also dealt with some injury. Eagles get him the same way the Niners got McCaffrey. Eagles rocked and rolled with a crazy season. The only difference between that season they got Christian McCaffrey, the Niners, and what the Eagles got with Saquon is that the Eagles finished the job. And then they did the same thing. They gave Saquon the extension the same way the Niners gave McCaffrey the extension. The difference was there's a banner ceremony that the Eagles decided to miss, and the Niners didn't have that because nobody would be surprised. There was a reason everyone is saying don't take Saquon, because the season after you do in fantasy, the season after you do what he did, you never know what could happen. That's just what happened with McCaffrey. It's very simple. It's not, you hate to see it, but it's very simple. This is what happens. He had a crazy season when they went to the Super Bowl, but they couldn't finish the job. This is what happens to running backs. So to your point, Ramsey, the idea that he's going to be that again from what year was that, 2022?
I think it was 22, I believe.
Man, time is Tom, no. It couldn't have been because Chris and I went. So that was 2023.
22 season.
2023 season, it was 2024.
Oh, okay.
So things change quickly. And that everyone is saying don't touch Saquon Barkley this season because he just had a crazy season. Not to say anything will happen, but that's what you do.
And they may throw the Madden curse out there too.
That's true. McCaffrey had a crazy season. They couldn't get it done. They were trying to get it done. Overtime rules and all. They were trying to get it done. And now you see what happens on the other side. They gave him that extension. And that's why people have bagged on the Niners. They gave McCaffrey the feel-good extension. He balled out, but they didn't win it all.
I mean, there's going to be people. There's a third running back I'm going to throw in this conversation. If you're talking fantasy football, that they're going to throw in that conversation, it's Derrick Henry.
I think that's a great call. He just did it. You don't know if he's going to do it again. And I don't put that much on Mark Andrews, to be honest with you, because the Ravens were chasing immediately. So it is what it is. But I would agree with you. Mm-hmm. You got the golden season from your older running back, and you tricked it off. You did. Maybe you get back, and I think the Ravens.
The Ravens got a test on Sunday night.
Yeah, they do.
It's basically the two teams that are trying, and that people have pinned or penciled, however you want to call it, of teams that they want to see knock the Chiefs off, which is Baltimore at Buffalo Sunday Night Football. And with that being said, you got Derrick Henry. Who's coming off just short of a 2,000-yard season with Lamar against the reigning MVP from Fireball, California, named Josh Allen, and the weapons he got.
And that's a house of horrors. That's who they just lost to. Here you go. David Lombardi, of course, is going to be Mr. Positivity when it comes to the Niners. This was about 4 minutes ago. If we're going to be fixated on details from the practice window, Christian McCaffrey, wearing a helmet, ran over to the pre-practice greeting scrum and engaged in a long, customized handshake with Fred Warner. Typically, players who are only rehabbing don't wear helmets and don't participate in the greeting scrum. I wish we had that drop from Mike Tomlin. I'm sorry, David. We don't care. We do not care. I actually combined the Stephen A. because Stephen A. one, that's we don't care. Then there's Mike Tomlin. We do not care. David, I only care about one thing. Is the brother practicing, and technically two things. What Kyle Shanahan says about this weekend. That's it. I don't care about handshakes and typically players that don't play. I get it. That's what you do. But he's either going to play or he's not. That's it. They're not. Now I'm getting frustrated. He's clearly not 100%. So you don't have to make it seem.
We do not care.
Thank you, Mike Tomlin. You don't have to. He's clearly not healthy. That doesn't mean he won't play. And maybe that's what Mr. Lombardi's trying to say. But clearly he is not healthy. Okay? Clearly he is not healthy. So handshake, no handshake, helmet, no helmet. There's something there. And I would say it's not the same as Matthew Stafford because Matthew Stafford is the quarterback, but it ain't far off. So we have more of those updates.
We don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care. Jerry,
we don't care.
I'm here to tell you right now. Mm-hmm. We don't care.
We don't care. Is he playing or not? We're about 15 minutes away from when Kyle Shanahan should be speaking. When we return, Ramsey and I get into the weekend picks. Also, update on Amari Cooper and the decision to retire. Allen Stiles, Show Sports.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our number one priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884. Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with RBs of Sacramento and the Sled Museum of Science and Curiosity. Tickets at CITPFest.com.
Allen Stiles here with Sacktown Sports 1140. At Folsom Buick GMC, you'll find vehicles that combine bold style, advanced innovation, and the performance only GMC can deliver. From the powerful Hummer EV to a full lineup of trucks and SUVs, there's something built for every lifestyle. Experience the difference at Folsom Buick GMC, your destination for quality service and vehicles designed to move you forward. Visit FolsomBuickGMC.com to learn more. That's FolsomBuickGMC.com.
Attention taxpayers, if you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584. 800-406-1584.
Priority Tax Relief.
Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sacktown Sports.
$30 more minutes with you. And we are going to go through our picks today for the weekend. We're going to be joined by Whitey Gleason in the next segment. Real quick, another update from David Lombardi 3 minutes ago. Seems obvious that Christian McCaffrey will be listed as questionable for Sunday based on what we know and the built-in uncertainty of the practice viewing window. What's actually important is how McCaffrey looks, and he was moving perfectly fine just now on the field. We still got the drop. We do not care. We do not care. If he looks perfect, then why would he? Can someone help me with this? Am I missing something? Let me go through this quote again. What's actually important is how McCaffrey looks, and he was moving perfectly fine just now on the field. Okay. So if he was moving perfectly fine just now on the field, David, why would he be listed as questionable?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you.
We don't care. Jerry.
Can someone explain that to me? Am I taking crazy pills? Hey, even if he's listed as questionable, as long as he looks good, that's fine. Okay. So why? What's going on here? All right. I've had enough fun. 916-339-1140. Am I taking crazy pills? It's possible. It's very possible. Okay, Ramsey, let's get into these NFL picks, good sir. The first one today, I have to double check. It is going to be on YouTube TV as well as YouTube. At first, I thought you'd have to be on the YouTube app, but it is going to be exclusively on YouTube. That includes YouTube TV. Thank you, Ramsey. Kansas City, Los Angeles Chargers, and Sao Paulo, Brazil. Kansas City favorites by 3.5, which is basically what they're always favorited by when they face a good team. That's what it always is. Ramsey, we're going pick, and we can go pick and cover. We can go either, whatever you want to do, my guy.
Just who, basically the pick is basically by the spread.
Okay. Well, so you're saying whether or not they cover?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I don't think Kansas City's going to cover. I think they'll win.
So Chiefs win, Chargers cover.
That's right.
If I'm going off what the feeling I have about the Chargers, Chiefs win, Chiefs cover. Because I personally feel the Chargers are going to be the last place team in the AFC West.
Harbaugh?
I do. It has nothing to do with Harbaugh. It's got to do with number 10 at quarterback, Justin Herbert or Air Bear, and he's got to show and prove.
I know.
He's like JJ McCarthy. He's got to show it and prove it to me.
But to me, this would be a very Justin Herbert thing. To cover the spread, but the Chiefs win. That's a Justin Herbert thing to me.
But here's what I do. The Chiefs don't cover. So I get where you're coming from.
All right, next one on the list. Tampa Bay getting into Sunday's games. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Tampa Bay getting 1.5 in Atlanta. Man, oh, man. I'm going Tampa Bay, and I think they're covering. I'm sorry, Atlanta. I don't trust you.
Upset special, baby. Give me the Falcons.
Okay.
At home.
Okay.
They beat them twice last year as well. And I feel that the Falcons win the NFC South this year. So if you're going to win the NFC South, you got to beat Tampa Bay.
I was on that train last season. I'm off that train. Cincinnati Bengals at Cleveland Browns. I mean, what are we doing here? What, you think Cincy?
There's nothing that's going to allow me to take the Cleveland Browns at the moment.
Yeah, can't do it. Won't do it. Cincinnati covers and gets it done. Miami at Colts. Oh, my gosh. What a disaster. I mean, Miami has to win this game if they – I think Miami – wait, the Colts are favorites?
They're at home.
Oh, give me – and I'm not even – I'm not a Miami – well, I'm a Miami guy, but I'm not a Dolphins guy. Give me Miami, okay? Give me Miami, and, yeah, they're the underdog, so give me Miami.
I wouldn't touch this game with a 10-foot pole. Yeah, I'll take Miami by default.
Okay. Next, the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the New England Patriots. Patriots favorites by 2.5. Tom Brady's got to be in the building. He's for sure going to be in the building.
I think he's actually calling
okay.
I think he might be calling Packers-Lions, I believe.
I feel like they might avoid him calling Raiders games.
Yeah, I think he's calling Packers-Lions. I think that's the Kevin Burkhardt, Tom Brady special.
I think Vegas needs this game, right? It's early in the season. You're not even getting bad New England weather. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders and get the hype train rolling.
Again, as they'd say, according to the spread, upset special, baby. I'm taking the Raiders. I feel they win outright.
Arizona Cardinals at New Orleans Saints. Spencer Rattler special. Cardinals by 6.5. This is where Kyler Murray does his best work before the weather changes. I think the Cardinals,
And it's in the dome.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals win and they cover.
I think the Saints are the worst team in the NFL. Give me the Cardinals.
Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Aaron Rodgers' old team, the New York Jets, and Justin Fields. They basically swapped quarterbacks at this point. Pittsburgh, 2.5. Yeah, Pittsburgh typically takes care of business when they're supposed to. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers, and sure, they cover.
I think the Steelers win by a field goal. So, with that being said, give me the Steelers.
The New York Giants and their 17 quarterbacks taking on the Washington Commanders. Washington 6.5 at home. Maybe a little dicey on that cover, but obviously I think Washington wins. 6.5 is a lot for a week one. Give me the Giants to cover. I don't know why.
Same here. It's a divisional game. Give me the Giants to. I got the Giants to cover.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's going to be a very similar game to what we saw last night. An NFC East battle with two NFC East teams. The Commanders are going to find a way to win it because they have better team, better quarterback. I wouldn't say I don't know about better head coach between Daboll and DQ Dan Quinn. Experienced that being with the Falcons, but in this scenario, I take Jaden Daniels before I take Russell Wilson, Jameis Winston, Jackson Dart, whoever. Even though I do quick local shout out, I hope the Giants find a way to utilize Rio Linda, Sac State, Arizona State running back, better known as Cam Scatterboo.
That's
Hopefully
right.
They find a way to utilize him in New York.
Yeah, I think he'll be good out there, man. And yeah, I think that they'll cover for whatever reason. Carolina at Jacksonville. Jacksonville favors by 3.5. This is it for Trevor Lawrence. I mean, he's going to keep getting paid, but this is it for Trevor Lawrence. I'm actually going to take Carolina. I just think Jacksonville's a mess, and Carolina is my underdog pick for the season to surprise some people. So if they are going to do that, they literally have to beat the Jaguars. Give me Carolina to win this one.
Again, this is another game I want nothing to do with. More like I still think better quarterback, and we don't know head coach wise because Canales is in his second year. Liam Cohen's new, but I think the Jaguars will win by 4. So give me the Jaguars.
Tennessee Titans at Denver Broncos. Obviously, I think Denver's going to win. I'm just struggling to see Denver winning by 8.5. That's my issue.
I got the Broncos winning.
It's the biggest spread this week.
It's the big number. Part of me just thinks, as I said earlier in the show today, Denver has the best defense in the NFL, and I think they're going to find a way to like frustrate Cam Ward and just give him something he's truly never seen before, and go from there and beat him by 10.
Yeah,
in Denver.
I think you talked me into the 10. That's all you really need. Give me Denver to cover the 8.5.
And I think it's going to be low scoring too. I think it'll be like a 20-10, 24-13 game.
San Francisco at Seattle. San Francisco by 1.5. Honestly, you got to put it on the table because we don't know about Christian McCaffrey. I'll take San Francisco.
Upset special, baby. Give me the Seahawks at home.
I'll take San Francisco just because I don't know that I've ever seen Brock Purdy lose to Seattle. Detroit at Green Bay. Green Bay favors by 1.5. You know I don't believe in Jordan Love. Give me Detroit. I think they're crossing into the realm of being slept on a little bit because nobody is talking about them. Give me Detroit to cover.
Detroit went. Detroit upset special. Give me the Lions.
Yeah, Detroit to win. Obviously, they would cover in that regard. Houston at Los Angeles. This is a fun one. Houston is kind of on my list as far as a team that nobody's talking about anymore. I'm actually going to take Houston. I don't know what's going on with Matthew Stafford. I'm going to take Houston upset.
And it's what? Rams favored by 3.5?
3.5, sir.
Rams win, Houston covers. I think the Rams win by a field goal at home late.
Baltimore at Buffalo. This is the Sunday night special. Baltimore favored by 1.5. I got Buffalo winning the whole thing. I got Buffalo winning this game. It's just that simple. At home, I can't believe Baltimore is favored by 1.5. Give me Buffalo.
I've heard it's flipped. I think it started as a pick'em and then moved to Baltimore. Honestly, give me the Ravens.
Okay.
I think this is a y'all must have forgot Lamar Jackson type tour, and I feel Derrick Henry, he may not get to the close to the 2,000 yards, but him as a compliment to Lamar, that's something special. We saw it last year, and I think this is the year they potentially can get over the hump, not just the Buffalo Bills hump, that Kansas City Chiefs hump.
I can't keep falling for it. DeAndre Hopkins, as he continues his ring search, is now in Baltimore, so we'll see what happens there. Yeah, and this is a classic. This is a classic Lamar situation. No disrespect. Regular season, he'll get his revenge, but it's about the playoffs with Lamar. Last one, Ramsey, Minnesota Vikings taking on the Chicago Bears. Minnesota favored by 1.5. I'll go Chicago. They're at home. I'll go Chicago.
Upset special, baby. Give me the Bears. I like the Bears. Not just has nothing to do with just being a Bears fan. Again, we said this. I don't know how many times we've said it today. J.J. McCarthy has to show himself. He's not played it down in the NFL yet. Granted, I get he's got the weapons. I understand that. But has he played a down in the NFL yet? No, you got to prove yourself.
Yeah.
And it starts here in week 1 in Chicago on Monday Night Football.
One more segment with you. Whitey Gleason joins us, and he's going to try to convince me why that Trey Mann trade was. During the break, I'm going to count how many O's he had in that whole Rib Bowl. We also are going to have some fun with Whitey. He has no clue what we're about to do, but it is right up his alley. It has to do with baseball and the Sacramento Kings. He's thinking, I can tell. One more segment with you, Allen Stiles, Sacktown Sports.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Sacktown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, conveniently located besides the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers start the regular season this Sunday on the road up in Seattle. San Francisco is looking to get back into the playoffs after a disappointing 6-11 season a year ago. Brock Purdy is ready to go after signing a 5-year, $265 million contract in the offseason. Catch the game this Sunday beginning at noon right here on Sacktown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
Michael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A+ Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that, or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Labor Day, our annual celebration of workers and their achievements, was first observed in New York, and the first Monday in September became a national holiday in 1894. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. Each year we commemorate Labor Day with parades, picnics, and family gatherings. And right now, Naturewood Home Furnishings is celebrating with their exceptional whole store Labor Day sale. Would you like to refresh your living room? Would you like to restyle your bedroom? Maybe you want to redesign your home office. No matter whether it's your dining room, kids' rooms, accents, or accessories, Naturewood's unique store-wide Labor Day sale offers savings in every department and savings on every brand like Stanton, Omnia, Stickley, Flex Steel, and all the rest of the award-winning furniture. When it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable Labor Day sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel. For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Xfinity. Introducing the 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years guaranteed. Well, one of the subplots in September will be whether Jacob Wilson could win the AL batting title. Now, he's been around 10 points behind Aaron Judge in the recent past, but if Judge were to fade and Wilson were to get hot, the A's might have their first batting champion since Jimmy Fox back in 1933.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy, how do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
The San Francisco Giants are grown here, right here with the Sacramento River Cats. Catch the future stars of Giants Orange and Black at Sutter Health Park. Don't miss the action. Get your tickets now at rivercats.com.
I didn't count the O's because we were small talking.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it was a lot of O's.
You know, I listen every day. I'm a big listener to the Allen Stiles Show. And when I heard you talking about, I've got some with DeRozan, I thought, okay, let's see. And then when you hatched that, it just so happens, Alan, for what it's worth, I've been looking at Trey Mann a lot this offseason because he's one of the free agent point guards that was available. And so I just really closely examined his game.
So did I.
Yeah. And then when you said Grant Williams and Trey Mann for Devin Carter and DeMar DeRozan, I wouldn't trade Devin Carter alone for both
now
those
here
guys.
we go.
I know Kyle Draper's a big Grant Williams guy. Seriously, I think he knew him a little bit in Boston. But Trey Mann's just not very good. He was an unrestricted free agent. You could have just got him.
Yeah, but it's the Dennis Schroeder thing. Hold on. I counted a rough either between 29 and 30 O's in your Trey Man is horrible. It's about 29 to 30 O's. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I
wanted to make sure I expressed to you how I really felt.
I know. Well, I got that. So I appreciate you there, Whitey. I can't even lie to you. I'm kind of impatiently or patiently awaiting. It's probably going to break during your show. I'm very invested in this Christian McCaffrey thing because I just don't like when people aren't. Just tell us what's going on. Just be transparent.
Well, they weren't last year. That's the whole thing. You can't blame anybody for leaping to conclusions. Pardon me. Because last year, he's fine. And then day of the first game, which was a Monday night game, right? Against the Jets. He's not playing, and he didn't play. So, yeah, they clearly were not transparent upfront about it last year. So you can't blame anyone now for saying, it's the same thing. He's never playing again.
Exactly. So I'm refreshing, but it has not, nothing has come about yet. It'll probably happen during the Drive Guys. So that's why you have to keep it locked right here for the Drive Guys. But Whitey, the fun that I wanted to have today, I was just thinking about this. Who, as far as it being a football Friday, NFL is starting up. Great game yesterday for the most part.
Yeah.
Let's go Kings here. I think this is where you flourish.
Kings and baseball, you said.
That's right. And we're going to do football too, but who would be the best baseball player from the Sacramento Kings? And let's try to stay away from pitchers because, that's no fun.
Because they're not important.
I didn't say that, but it's not fun.
First base, they got Sabonis is probably at first base for me.
Yeah.
Although Maxime Reynaud may force me to move Sabonis to left field. I don't know. Malik Monk, I could see as a middle.
Me too. He's a wiry second baseman. Maybe he plays short when you need him to, just like point guard. He plays short when you need him to.
See, DeRozan, he used to be a shortstop. Then we had to slide him to third, and now he's got to play first also. So I got a lot of first base DH types, right?
Well, I know where we're going.
What about putting DeRozan in left field?
Probably. I know where we're going here, right? I know exactly. You know who's going to be the best baseball player? It's Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine is a center fielder or
Zach
shortstop.
LaVine. Yeah.
It's Zach LaVine. And I weirdly feel like I might have seen him swing a bat before somewhere at somebody's.
Certainly swing a golf club.
Yeah. Somebody's celebrity game. Yep. It's got to be Zach LaVine.
It's funny, though, because I don't know why, but I would say to me, it's like he's definitely a center fielder, not a shortstop.
Zach LaVine?
Yes.
I could see that. He glides. He glides out there. No one ever said that about me, Whitey. I was not glide. I was
you had good speed. Not a burner, but good speed.
No, but you have to be. Here's the thing. I'll just say it. These guys that quote unquote glide, they have longer strides. Okay, that's how it looks like. Ken Griffey, glider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's some guys that are like to me, Mike Trout was not a glider. He's so stocky. He's one of the best center fielders we've seen, but not a glider.
Right.
I always wanted to be a glider, but never was. All right. So we got Zach LaVine at shortstop. Zach LaVine at center for you. He could be my shortstop. Is that us weirdly saying that Zach LaVine is the best athlete on the Kings?
Yeah.
Because I was going to do this with football for a football Friday, but I think the same answer would be Zach LaVine as a wide receiver. DB?
Yeah. I mean, I want to get him a lot of touches. I'm trying to think. I have a McCaffrey
jet sweep
for him.
Yeah, sweep.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You reminded me to refresh here. The McCaffrey stuff. Jet sweep. Who else would be a good baseball player here?
I'm trying to think, doing it the other way around. Where would Keon play? Maybe like an outfielder.
Keon's the second baseman.
You think?
No. You're right. Keon is the leadoff that plays left field.
Okay.
Like a Mookie, because Mookie's in right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Keon might be like a Mookie, that rare type. I play him all over the diamond, Allen.
Wait. Hold on now. You go Zach LaVine, shortstop. And you know who might be center?
I heard Zach LaVine in center.
No. You know who I'm putting in center, though? Yeah, you know who I'm putting. Or we could swap them. You know who's going to short? Because everybody loves him.
Not Keegan.
No. We got to find a spot for
right
Keegan.
Fielder.
Third base, Keegan.
It might be third base.
Yeah. Neek is our shortstop. I like that size. Like a Carlos Correa.
Cal Ripken-esque.
Where the heck are we going to put Keegan?
Yeah.
I put Keegan third.
Just be the pitcher.
Right field. Because he's probably got a hose out there.
Yeah, he definitely does.
Yeah, you're not going from first to third.
No, you're not even
Keegan.
testing. You're not even testing it. All right. Where's Keegan on the football field?
Kind of a slot receiver.
Yeah. You know, I'm thinking of the receiver from the Colts. We sat down with him during Super Bowl. He signed Pittman.
Yeah.
Yep. Pittman. That's Keegan.
Okay.
One of the best crosstalks we've done.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Great stuff.
So you're thinking like an X receiver. He's got the size.
I think he's got the size.
Big. He might have to be like a
tight end. Tight end.
Receiver, tight end types.
We got a squad, man.
Yeah,
now just take all that energy to basketball. That's all they got to do. And DeMonte's quarterback.
It actually is easier to say what's positions
in other
baseball
sports
than it is in basketball.
Great stuff from Ramsey. Ramsey, thank you for filling in. Thank you to Chris Jackson. Go check that out. Covers high school football for West Coast Preps. Thanks to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. Not 100% very similar to Christian McCaffrey, but I probably won't be here on Monday. So I want to thank everyone for the kind words. I try to respond to you on the text and on the sack chat when I can, but I really appreciate it. I'll see you on the other side.
Good luck, Alan.
Thank you. I'll see you on the other side. Until Media Day, and possibly Monday, secure the bag, light the beam.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies